Your Honor, this is case number 232 on the calendar in the matter of Webster versus Matos.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, Miss Webster, according to what I've read, you lived with the defendant. It was an arrangement where you would live there for a short period of time, and according to you, pay her $75 a week in rent. You were going to move in there with your fiancé?
Correct.
On what date did you move in? Maybe he knows. Stand up.
Can you please stand up?
Tell me your last name, sir.
Botano.
All right, so on what date did you move in? June 1st?
June 1st.
And just to put this in reference, and what date did you ultimately move out?
The end of July. It was the very end of July. Do you know the exact
Do you know the
date?
date?
That we moved?
Yes, they stayed 2 weeks, Your Honor.
They say they moved in on June 1st.
They did not move in June 1st.
When did they move in?
They moved in maybe the 15th, 16th of June.
What do you mean, maybe June, maybe the 15th? Do you
Well,
remember on what day they moved in?
Yes, June 16th.
Now you're sure.
I'm sure, positive.
And on what date did they vacate?
Excuse me?
What date did they vacate?
2 weeks after that date.
So, according to you, approximately July 1st.
Yes, it is.
According to your complaints, you moved in, you paid your $75 a week while you were there. In addition, when you moved into the defendant's apartment or home, she had no utilities, no gas, no electric, no hot water or anything else. They'd all been shut off. You put them on in your name. Is that correct?
Yes.
There came a time when there was a falling out or something and you were told to leave and you left. You want your utility money back as well as certain property.
Exactly. Could I explain a little bit about the falling out? I had found out she was on Section 8 in Massachusetts. That's free housing, and she did not have her 4 children in her custody living with her. At the time, I did not know she was not paying any rent for herself. Her only means of income was the $75 we were paying when the house had become infested with cockroaches, infested. And therefore, I couldn't live in those conditions and said that I would like to move out within a week. I told her on a Monday, or no, actually, yeah, on a Monday. And she had said she had left with my ex-husband, that's who she's dating, left with him and came back. She became outraged. She said she wanted her key now, and I explained, we're paid up until the end. I need to make the arrangements.
Until the end of what?
The end of the week. The end of that week, that following week. She said, I want my key now, and I said, you'll get your key. She left. Approximately half an hour later, she called, said, you have a half an hour to get all your belongings out of the house. I'm coming with the police. Now, Your Honor, I had just had major surgery on the 17th, where they removed 3 discs from my neck, July 17th. So during this time, I was very disabled.
You were in the house after the surgery?
Yes, I was. I have the paperwork.
Let me see it.
And this is also a letter from the landlord stating that I resided there, even though she was the only adult on the list, on the lease of the house.
Go ahead. So, talk to me.
The reason how we found out she was on Section 8.
I don't want to know how you found out she was
Then what
on
do you-
Section 8.
of the
Right now we're
surgery.
at a point where she says she's coming back in a half hour with the police.
With the police. The police showed up and asked her, do they pay you rent? She said yes. They said, we cannot have them leave. She said, oh, no, they don't pay me rent. They said, excuse me, miss, you just said they did. The reason why, that's a copy, she had ripped the papers out of my hand, the one with the landlord, so to ruin the evidence that I did have at the time.
Okay.
And the police had left, and the next morning, we had moved out everything that we had. We left a lot of the belongings because of the infested cockroaches that you could see everywhere.
All right. Well, so far we've just taken care of part of your lawsuit. You
Okay.
moved out the next morning. You took everything that you wanted. You
Oh, I
didn't want
wanted
to
to
take
take
other stuff because it was infested with cockroaches.
Correct.
You say you want the return of valuable personal property. What valuable personal property? Tell me.
I'll tell you. A 25-inch colored cable-ready TV.
Well,
The
just a
box-
second. Why didn't you take that?
Because the roaches got inside the television. They go into electronic. It's the first that I've heard. They go into electronics to keep warm. Electrical appliances. They go into that.
So you don't want the TV back.
No, I want some of the cost of it.
Forget it. You moved the television in there.
There was no cockroaches there at that time. She's a pig. That's why she
Then
lives.
you shouldn't have moved in there.
We did not know.
Just a second. You should have had some clue when you move into somebody's apartment and they have no gas, electricity, or hot water, you should have a
felt sorry
clue.
for her.
She's not paying for a new TV for you. You had an opportunity to take your TV. She didn't withhold it from you. You decided to leave it there because there were bugs in it.
I'm not asking for the value of the whole TV.
Oh, you
just a
can't have
portion.
value of any TV. You can't have value of any property that you voluntarily elected to leave in the premises because you felt that they were bug infected.
Well, what we had done was brought a lot of the property outside. My husband's sister lives upstairs.
So,
And we figured if we had left it out, maybe the cold air or whatever, cockroaches, I guess, do not like cold air.
So?
And would leave. And when we had gone back, all this was gone. All our belongings were gone.
just a second. They were gone.
They were smashed. They weren't gone, they were smashed up.
So let's say they were smashed up. You put them outside.
Yeah?
So,
And we had somebody watching over it.
yeah. Who did you have watching over it?
My sister, she just said that.
And how long did you leave it outside?
Hour?
You mean you were leaving it outside for an hour and you were coming back for it?
Yes.
You know, you're making up these stories as you're going along. It all
Thank
sounds
you.
very, very good to me.
Thank you.
No.
Do I look like I need help? You just told me that you left the stuff there, you weren't taking it because it was full of bugs. You don't get any property back. You decided to leave. If you decided to leave, you should have taken your television set, everything else that you had, taken it with you in a car and put it out someplace else where you were going, not leave it out in front of her house.
My sister's house, too. It ain't just her house.
So,
So what? So what? You
so
keep
what?
saying,
That's
so
what I'm saying to you. So what?
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Now, bottom line is, they didn't live with you until the 1st of July or the 16th of July. According to the landlord, they lived with you at least until July 28th. You may...
Here, I have that they were not on the lease. I let them...
I don't care whether they were on the lease
I
or
know
not.
that,
That's
ma'am.
not the question,
But
Ms. Matos.
I know that, Your Honor, but I'm coming to my point. Out of the kindness of my heart, they got evicted out of their home. I let them
Stop.
stay-
Listen to me. I don't want a kindness of your heart.
All right.
Kindness of your heart, you don't charge them $75
I did
in
not
rent.
charge them. I have not accepted any money from them.
Just a second.
Please,
Just a second.
please.
That I don't believe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Lorraine is unable to read or write.
So how could she have
A driver's
to
license.
own a car?
She doesn't probably even own this car. It's not a registered car. She just drives around and hopes for the best.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Webster says former friend Lorraine Matos owes her for utility bill deposits and the return of personal property. Lorraine says Jennifer owes her for smashing out her van windows.
You just don't want
Yes, I
Section
did.
8.
Look in it.
I'm speaking. You just don't want Section 8 housing to know that you were charging them for rent. Don't give me
No,
baloney.
that's
I've been
not true,
around
Your
the
Honor.
block longer than you have, madam.
Get this thing.
All right, let's get to it. Utility bills. You pay the utility bills?
I haven't had the funds to pay the utility
Let me
bills
see
at
the
time.
utility bills.
She would like to call the party line to get dates on a constant basis using my telephone. I can quote words that she used.
Okay. The amount due on this bill is $47.
That,
The
Your
total
Honor,
electrical charges were
that
$94.
they transferred from their old apartment, ma'am. Both of them, phone and electric. They transferred to my apartment from their old apartment. Those bills were already on there.
You can't transfer until
Yes,
you
you
pay
can.
them full. Was your
She
AC?
transferred her electricity from her old resident to my resident.
Did you have electric on when they moved in?
No, I didn't. She transferred from
Did
her...
you have electric on when they moved in?
No, I didn't.
All right. Did you have a phone on when they moved in?
Yes, I did.
You did? You had
I
a
had
phone
my own
connected?
phone.
Was
Yes,
it
I
shut
did.
off?
Is it?
Yes, I did. I had my own phone number. Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And it was on?
Yes, it was on when they moved in, Your Honor.
When we moved
And it
in,
got
it was shut off.
turned off within
No.
5 or 6 days.
No, Your
Now,
Honor.
it's a very easy phone call for me to make, Miss Matos. Don't
It
make
was
me
not
embarrassed.
turned on. Your
It's
Honor.
under-
I'm
different name.
speaking. Let me finish my question.
Okay, and then I will answer it, ma'am.
Pay careful attention to my question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did there come a time
Yes.
between the 1st of June
Mm-hmm.
and the last of July
Yes.
when the phone
Yes.
that was in your apartment,
Yes.
in your name,
Yes.
was not working?
Yes. Your Honor, may I say something?
No.
Okay.
You were trying to scam a little bit, Miss Matos.
I'm not scamming nothing. I'm
Sure
trying
you
to-
were. You
I'm
were.
trying
Sure
to
you
show
were.
you I
You
can't
sure you were.
put my electricity on for a month.
Let me explain something to you. You want to know why you were trying to scam a little bit,
How
madam?
was I trying to scam a little?
Very easy, because the people of the state of Massachusetts were paying your rent and you were getting money from them.
I did not receive any money.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Free housing.
Yes, you did.
Where's
No
the
question
receipts?
in my
Where's
mind
the
that you did.
receipts
Let's
that
get
I
to your
received any
counterclaim.
money?
You say that when you returned,
To my home,
I'm speaking, that when you returned to your home, you found the window to your van damaged.
I have it all on videotape.
What do you have on videotape?
Every damage that they did to my home the day after
Wait
they
a minute.
left,
Shh.
and
Hush.
to my my
listen.
minivan.
Listen to me very
Yes,
carefully.
ma'am.
Put your hand down.
Okay.
And estimate.
Shh.
Sorry.
What kind of minivan do you have?
I have a Dodge Caravan,
What year?
89.
Have insurance on it?
Nope, it was parked in my private yard.
So the answer is you do not have insurance on it.
Nope, but it was parked in my yard. No, I don't have insurance on it, Your Honor.
Is the car registered?
No, it was not registered.
What do you use the car for?
I was using the car until I got my license back so me and my 4 children can enjoy it.
The 4 children were not living in the premises.
That is none of your concern, Jennifer.
Shh. I got the whole picture. Listen, I want to tell you something. I don't know about your history, because it seems to me you're lacking brains, the two of you, and moving in with her.
Excuse me.
They sure are.
That's exactly what I said. You're lacking brains
Yeah,
and moving
for
into
moving
with
in.
somebody,
Exactly, you are
somebody
correct.
who
I believe
doesn't have
that.
custody of their. I'm speaking. Doesn't have custody of their 4 children. Has no gas. Has no electric. Has no hot water. Right? Has cockroaches in their house all over the place. Moving your stuff in there. I'm not getting into all that in any event, and I don't want to see your video. I have no interest in seeing your video.
Oh, you have no-
Damage to your van window. You
Yes.
claim that the defendants did it.
Yes.
I would like to know what proof you have that the defendants damaged your
Because
van.
when I come back when I called the officer for them to leave that day, my house was fine, my car was fine. There is no reason for me to damage my own apartment. I live in that home. And second of all, when I came back the next morning, my house was damaged, my car was damaged.
So that's the,
Richie and Jennifer Votano had called my fiance's house numerous of times saying, oh, try to get in your house, try driving your car. How does the damage feel in your home?
really.
Yes,
He's-
my
step
fiance's
up
right here. Came to my fiance.
Shh.
Okay.
What's your last name?
Webster?
Okay. You're her former husband?
That's correct.
I introduced them.
Shh. I don't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They made about 12 to 14 phone calls, like just, yelling, screaming. Richard was threatening and bodily harm.
Threaten you, little girl.
Do you want to stay here?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Webster claims Lorraine Matos owes her for utility bill deposits and the return of personal property.
Did you receive a phone call from your former wife
Yes, we
after
received-
they moved out?
Yes, we received the night of, the night that they decided to move out of the premises of the street. Me and Lorraine went back to my house, and they made about 12 to 14 phone calls, like just, yelling, screaming, I can't believe you come over here with the cops and this and that, and, threatening, they're gonna, Richard was threatening and bodily harm. She was threatening, Jennifer was threatening bodily harm, and then when, that's what it was about 11 o'clock that
I
night.
didn't
Then,
threaten you,
then,
little girl.
then,
Just a minute.
I didn't
Do you
threaten
want to
him.
stay here? Do you want to stay here?
Yes.
Then me and my roommate, I had a roommate at the time, we went by the apartment and picked up, her iguana, because she had an iguana there, and so we went and we picked that up, and we went back to the house, and to where my premises, where I was residing, and then that was around 11:30 that night. So when we come back the next morning, it was me and her went back to the street the next morning at around, I'd say around 11:45. All the damage to the caravan and like a lot of damage to the.
Tell me what damage
All right, there was
to the caravan.
there was the front windshield, the front the front end of the car was all smashed in, and the passenger side windshield.
When you came back to the house,
Yeah.
they had already moved out.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
How did you get into the house?
I had to take I went into my trunk and I had to take a razor because I had one of those razor blades and everything like that, and I put it inside the lock. Removed the key. I had 2 of them. I removed the key that was broken, the lock out of there, and then she had another key, and we opened up the door.
Now, did you call in any sort of a police report with regard to the damage?
No. But I received when that day when we were downstairs. Like he previously said before, his sister lives upstairs, and she come downstairs and she said, my brother wants to talk to you, and he started, saying that if you report this to the police or anything like that, then I'm going to bring my brother, I'm going to bring my friends and everything. He's like, that is the God's honest truth.
So you did not report that to the police?
No, I was scared. Man.
Okay, now you want to show me a piece of paper?
Yes, I do. It says that her claim on 8/2
Just
that
a second.
smashed.
I can read.
Okay.
I just changed my mind.
And,
I just changed my mind.
Your Honor?
I really would like to look at this video that they have.
Fine.
Okay?
Look up.
Your Honor,
What?
that's my husband's handwriting. Lorraine is unable to read or write.
Nope, that's my handwriting.
So what?
So how could she have a
driver's
car license
license.
to own a car?
I
Just a
didn't
second.
know.
She doesn't have a driver's license.
You need a driver's license.
She doesn't have a driver's license,
You need,
right?
That's right.
You need one to own a car in Massachusetts.
Just a second. She doesn't probably even own this car. It's not a registered car. She just drives around and hopes for the best. Okay, I'm ready. That's dated August 19th.
That the clock.
Isn't she still electricity?
Where'd you get the video camera?
Borrowed off my brother.
You borrowed it from your brother. Is your brother a stand-up guy?
Yeah,
Nice guy?
yeah, twin brother. Yeah.
Right? Any reason why he would have the date of August 19th, 2000 on that video?
We didn't know the date we had to change or anything. We
It
just
doesn't have to change. It goes
I
automatically.
just, he doesn't ever use it. You know what I mean? It's like I don't.
You mean it just jumps ahead a month?
You gotta set
Just
the
a
date.
second.
No, it doesn't jump ahead a month. That's not the date that I videotaped it on.
Well, how do I know that? That's what it says.
Oh, but I'm just going on by my word.
Probably damaged the truck.
Thank you.
It's a hothead. Probably a little psychotic besides. Strike that. Definitely a little psychotic. You have to have more proof than that, than the opportunity and the inclination to cause damage. Aside from the fact that the only evidence that you produce here today, sir, indicates that the damage was done on or about the 19th of August, approximately 6 weeks after you say they moved out. I believe you. You say they moved out July 1st.
yeah.
I don't believe that, but that's what you say. So if they moved out July 1st, you hung around with this glass in your stove,
No, I
and with,
didn't.
I'm speaking, glass in your stove and all the schmutz in your house for 7 weeks. You are entitled to $100 for one half of the utility bills while you were
Thank
there.
you.
You are entitled to nothing.
Thank you.
That's all.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Fong, you tell a very, very aggressive story about actions taken by the defendant, who was then your boyfriend. For some reason, which I'm sure you will explain, you decided that you didn't want to prosecute this case criminally. Is that right?
Yes.
When did this incident take place?
January 27.
Tell me what happened on January 27th.
Defendant Albert Chen, he discovered that I was going to display clothes at a ballroom dance school, and he became very jealous, and
He went with you.
he insisted he has to go. While we were there, he took me into a storage room. He started screaming at me, calling me names. He also attempted to burn my clothes and burn my face using a lighter.
In the storage room.
Yes, he tried to injure me and burn my face.
You managed to get free, according to your complaint, from the storage room. Is that right?
Yes, there are people there, and people knocked on the door. He left, and when I tried to leave, he was there behind my car.
And he got into the car with you.
Yes, so I gave him a ride home. While I was driving, he blew anger at me. He punched in the windshield and tried to break the window. He also pulled the handbrake, tried to stop the car, and he yelled at me and tried to grab me out of the car. He said he wanted to die with me. And there are policemen behind us, and they took him out of the car.
And you were actually taken into custody. Is that right, sir?
No, the police took me out because I have a open can of the beer, and then they thought I was drunk. But
Where did they put you, Mr.
on the
Chung?
street,
They left you just on the street?
on the street.
You left, is that right?
I told the policeman I was very scared. I do not want the defendant to be in my car again. The police officers told me I could file a police report, and
Did you do that?
Yes, I went to a local station and filed a police report
That night?
that night, and an emergency restraining order was granted to me that night.
And what happened when you got home?
When I stepped into my house, it was close to 2 o'clock in the morning. I heard defendant Albert Chen leave a message on my recording. He sounded angrily on the phone. He threatened me to pick up the phone. I did not pick up the phone. 15 minutes later, the doorbell rang. I knew it was him, so I did not answer. And I tried to call 911. And defendant called in my phone at the same time, so I could not dial out. He threatened me to give him $35 for the taxi fare.
For the cab fare?
Yes, I refused, but he threatened that he'll make a scene out of it and wake up my neighbors. So I brought the money out and gave it to him. He forced his way in. Once he's inside, he grabbed on me and threw me on the ground. He got on top of me. He twisted my wrist. He injured my spine and my joint, and he attempted to rape me by pulling down and ripping my pants. And I brought my evidence of the ripped and torn pants.
I don't have to see them.
The elastic was broken.
Go ahead.
And I started screaming, and he stopped. For the rest of the night, he abused me by threatening me to drain the toilet cleaner. He forced me to smell lighter gas. He threatened me that if I reported the police, he would kill me.
How did it come about that he left your apartment?
My mother called about 9 o'clock in the morning. The first time he did not let me answer the phone. I said, if I don't answer, my mother will call the police. Then he let me answer the phone. My mother said she was coming over. So then the defendant left. And I called the police and made the second police report. But I told the police officers that I do not want him to be arrested because I was too scared that this guy will retaliate.
Let me see the police report.
This is the first police report. This is the second one. And the bottom is stated that I asked the officer to not arrest the defendant.
Why?
Because I was too terrified.
Then why do you come to court now, Ms. Fong?
Because it's 4 months after, and also putting him in jail is very intense, that he will become very angry and retaliate. I also have the photos of the policeman took on me. It was kicking on my face that was injured. Also on the damaged carpet, on the damaged closet door, and the damaged portable closet, and also the burned clothes. The policeman also took his lighter and burned clothes for evidence.
All right, Mr. Chung, I have a couple of questions for you, sir, because I've read your answer. Now, there is no question that you did, in fact, pull the emergency brake. Is that right?
Yeah, I did pull the emergency brake, the handbrake, yes. I want to mention why I need to pull the handbrake, because I told her to stop the car because I feel we were arguing in her car and she drives pretty dangerous. That's why
I read your story. That's not a reason to pull a handbrake.
Okay.
She hadn't been drinking that night you had. You had an open can of beer, is that right?
Right.
Okay. So the police took you out of the car. And how long did you stand out on the street waiting for a taxi cab?
Around like an hour and a half.
And you were very angry at that time.
Yes, I was angry.
Then why did you go to her house that night?
Because
there's no question that you went back to her house. Is that right?
Right.
Now, you didn't live with her.
I did not live with her.
Then why did you go back to her house after being very angry? Listen to me, Mr. Chung, because I'm very smart. You tried to get out of the car. She wouldn't let you out of the car, according to you. You were so frightened of the way she was driving erratically that you pulled the emergency brake on the car, according to you. Is that right?
Yes.
The police came and rescued you. Is that right?
No,
they rescued you by getting you out of the car. Is that right?
Right, just getting me out.
That's according to you. They rescued you by getting you out of the car. Now you're rescued. She can't hurt you anymore with the car. So, quiet.
Excuse
me.
me.
I'm speaking.
Okay.
So you're standing outside it for an hour and a half, and it's very late at night. About midnight?
And midnight.
And very cold.
And really, really cold.
And you don't live with her?
No.
Then why don't you go home?
Because...
No, look at me. Why don't you go home?
Because I was angry, and I heard she told the police I'm making trouble on her, and I was angry. I just wanted to go to her home.
So you were angry?
Right.
So now you arrive at her house after having had a little to drink, being out in the cold for an hour and a half, and you're very angry. And what do you do when you get to the house, Mr. Chung?
I want to talk to her.
What do you do? Did you call her and tell her you wanted $35 for a cab?
Oh, I did.
She gave you the $35 for the cab, is that right?
Right.
Was the cab waiting for you?
They kept waiting for me.
And then you went back upstairs.
Right.
Why did you go back to her apartment?
I was angry, and I know I was stupid. I go back to her house.
So what did you do to her when you got to the apartment?
I argued with her.
Tell me how you argued with her,
Okay.
sir.
I told her, how come she just ignoring me? And when the police come, she told the police just don't know me, something like that, just like her, just like friend.
Are you telling me, sir, that you didn't put your hands on her?
Oh, I never put my hand on her.
No, he's lying.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Manessa Fong says ex-boyfriend Albert Chung injured her during a sexual assault. Manessa says Albert terrorized her over the course of 24 hours.
How long did you stay there that evening?
All night.
Did she ask you to leave?
She never asked me to leave.
That's a lot of baloney, sir. That's baloney. Because even if you were only arguing with her verbally, she would have asked you to leave.
She didn't ask me to leave. She let me sleep in her living room at the floor. She told me, because I am legally blind, I'm visually impaired, I cannot drive, and it was late, around like 2 o'clock, and she let me sleep in her living room, and next morning she woke me up, and then I left. But we were arguing for a long time.
Right.
Right.
Why do you believe that Miss Fong would have made 2 police reports if you had not threatened her?
Because when the argument, by the time, my language was very strong and insulting her, and she was angry. And I just want to make sure you understand, I didn't do anything physically.
I don't believe that, sir.
her,
I believe that you did something physically to her. I believe that you did. I believe that you went there that night and you were very, very angry.
Right.
And when you are very, very angry, based upon something that you did earlier that evening, you, for whatever reason, wanted her to stop the car, and you pulled the emergency brake up. You could see good enough to pull up the emergency brake.
I don't need to see, I can feel it.
Just like you can feel her face. You pulled up the emergency brake, which means, Mr. Chung, that you have a temper. And what she did later on that evening, which was, according to you, felt sorry for you and let you sleep on the floor of her apartment, that doesn't sound like the kind of woman who would not let you out of a car if you wanted to get out of the car. So you got a temper. You've got a temper. And I believe that you punched the windshield on the car. Didn't break it, but I believe that you punched it.
I did.
Sure, because you have a temper. And that was before you were standing outside for an hour and a half in the cold at 1 o'clock in the morning. That was before. After you were really mad because she was ignoring you in the ballroom. Right? Good. You better stay away from her. Because, you see this judge? You may get some very nice judge if you go near her again. You may get somebody who will be very sympathetic with the fact that you tell them that you can't see, you're legally blind, you're a poor soul, all right? You can't put your hands on anybody. Never. In anger. And get away with it. And I'm just very sorry that she didn't follow through. But I tell you something else. If you ever go near her again, ever, it is very possible that you're going to get unlucky and get somebody just like me. Do you understand? And if you get somebody just like me, you're going to go to jail. And they don't care what your handicaps are. Do you understand?
Yes.
Keep your hands to yourself and stay far away from her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000 as requested. Stay away from her.
Thank you, Your
You
Honor.
are excused. You may step out.
I was terrified. The defendant was threatening me if I arrest him and put him in jail, he will kill me and my family.
I didn't do it. And if I did it, after the police did the full investigation, I already been in the jail.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCall versus Wilhelm. Step forward, please.
71-year-old Burbin McCall is suing his former friend, 32-year-old student Sandra Wilhelm, for unpaid loans and the cost of a car. Sandra says Burbin's lawsuit is an attempt to keep her in his life.
Mr. McCall, It is your claim in this complaint that you were romantically involved with the defendant and made a series of loans to her, including a car.
Yes, ma'am.
Then she broke it off, and you want your money back.
Yes, Your Honor.
When and where did you meet Mr. McCall?
I met Sandra at a local pub that we both frequented.
Okay. When?
Sometime in March, Your Honor.
And when did you make this first loan?
Well, the first thing that happened, I had bought a computer, and Sandra agreed to come over and download it for me. Then she'd had an accident, and she had picked up a DUI, and her car was wrecked. So I then called her and asked her if I could be of any help to her. She said, well, my mother's got a car, that 88 Crown Victoria. Her mother was asking $2,300 for the car. I gave Sandra $2,300. We went in. She gave us the title. We then proceeded to go down and get it plated and titled.
Did you expect Miss Wilhelm to pay you back the money?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you ever tell her that?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Shh, quiet. When did you tell her that?
I told her that before we bought the car. I said,
What did you say?
I said, if we buy a car, I'll help you get a car. But I said, I want title to that car. She said, well, how am I going to get plates and insurance and the rest of it? Why don't we just purchase a vehicle? You'll have the first lien on the vehicle so that I'm protected.
Well, the truth of the matter is, you really are not terribly protected. All you are, if you had title to the car, is you're exposed in case she has an accident, in case she doesn't get insurance.
Well, she did that.
I know, but that's a problem. Miss Wilhelm, first of all, how old are you?
32.
How old are you, sir?
71.
Okay. Miss Wilhelm, this, whatever kind of relationship you had with the plaintiff was of relatively short duration. I read your answer very clearly, and your answer says that he clearly wanted more from the relationship than you were prepared to give him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Can I see the title to the car, please?
Yes.
Who
I
has
just
the
have
title?
a certificate of title.
I'd like to see it, please.
Here's a copy of the title.
And I'd like to see the certificate of
This
title.
is Exhibit B and C showing the registration and the application.
I just want the title to the car.
He has the title.
This is a copy. Who has
Yeah.
the original?
I have the original at home. I just made a copy of it, Your Honor.
Well, that wasn't very smart, sir.
Well, I'm not.
That wasn't very smart, because I read the defendant's answer very clearly. She says, Bervin's goal was to control me. When I didn't respond to his advances, he became increasingly hostile. Is that true?
That is correct.
It's not true.
Eventually, I told him that he could have the car back because it's not worth the harassment. That's what you wrote. Is that what you wrote?
Yes.
Good. Sign the title over to him. Sign it over. Now.
He has the title.
You're going to sign the copy. We'll conform it. Show where to sign, Bird, would you please? You're getting good at that.
Where? He told me he didn't want the car, Your Honor.
Sign the title over to him.
Signature of seller. And print your name.
Now, give it to him, please. Thank you, Bird. Perfect. Now, let's get to the second part of your lawsuit is you made a series of loans to the defendant. When did they start?
Started after we had purchased the automobile.
That's not true.
She just needed money time after time, and I felt like we were committed enough. We'd already committed that we would go to Texas once she got through her ordeal, and that she would move with me, take the kids. She wanted out of Indiana, so did I.
She's 40 years your junior.
Yes, I know, Your Honor.
Very foolish.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very foolish. Do you have a promissory note, sir?
No, Your Honor.
You gave her money for a lawyer.
Yes,
How much money did you give her for a lawyer?
$500.
That's not true.
You gave her money to pay her mortgage.
$500.
Did you ever get a note from her for any of those things?
No, Your Honor, I was too involved.
Well, you were too involved, and that's what you get when you're too involved.
That's
sir.
right.
You don't get paid for that.
That's right.
That's stupidity.
Well, I said that to myself.
Well, if you said it to yourself, unfortunately, you got to listen to me say it to you again.
That's okay.
So this was a lesson that cost you perhaps a couple of $1,000s. Miss Wilhelm says that you never gave her any money, I assume. Is that right?
That's correct.
Never gave you any money?
No.
I don't know whether I believe you that he never gave you any money. I sort of think he probably did. In any event, you knew each other for a total of maybe 8 weeks. In the 8 weeks, the plaintiff is out a substantial amount of money. I can't get you back all the money that you were out, sir, because I really feel as if you didn't have a contract with her with regard to these cash loans that you made to her, cash gifts that you made to her. But clearly it was your intention to have a hold on the car, which was the largest amount of money that you turned over to the plaintiff, by having your name placed as a lien holder on the car. That is some evidence of a debt. That is why you got your car back. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Rest of your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Miss Mary, according to your complaint, you loaned the defendant $3,500. You knew him from a previous relationship. You want to tell me when you loaned him the money, what was it for, and where did you get it from?
I loaned him the money in the middle of February. We had known each other about a year and a half prior to. We had been dating. It didn't work out. He couldn't commit. We reconciled at the beginning of the year. He came to me crying about the middle of February, indicating that his life was in danger, that if he didn't have this money, he would be hurt. I trusted him. At that point, he said that he wanted to make this relationship work. I took him for his word. He swindled me.
Where did you get the money from?
It was a tax debt that I owe. I took a loan out on my house.
I just said it was a tax debt. What kind of tax debt?
I owe the IRS money from cashing stock in. I took a mortgage out on my house.
You have proof of that?
Yes. He knew I was getting a loan for this money. He came to me right about the time it was about to fund.
Let me see.
Your Honor, that's false. I didn't know anything about the loan until after the fact.
He had made an agreement with me, an oral agreement, that he would pay this back before the 15th.
Just a second. Okay, and what date did he come to you in February?
On the 20th.
And what did he tell you that the money was needed for?
I have no idea. He said that his life was in danger. I took
didn't
him for
ask
his
him?
word. I just saw that he was scared.
And you gave him the money in cash?
Yes. He indicated that was the nature of it.
Your Honor, I do have a
Just a
bank
second.
account. I'm able to cash checks.
Just a second. How much was the amount of your tax bill?
$70,000.
Okay. Go.
Your Honor, this first thing I'd like to present this letter, actually, that I have. It shows
A letter from what?
It's a letter, actually, from the plaintiff. It shows a little bit of what her word is, and
Your Honor, I have never mailed him any letters.
Just a minute.
it obviously has her. That's the original there, Your Honor, with her signature at the bottom.
I can't read and listen to you at the same time. Okay, just show this to her. That really has nothing to do with this case.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, that goes to show that her word really means nothing, to tell you the truth, Your Honor. This was not a loan.
Well, tell me what
I
it
had
was,
done
sir. I
work
read
for
your
her.
answer. Tell me what it was.
I had done work for her in the middle of last year. My brother as well was working with me at the time. He was my employee. And we had spoken with her, him and I, at the same time, were present, to do anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000 worth of work on her home.
That's a lie.
Skylights, countertop, tile,
Just a
replace a
second.
double door in the front entry.
Okay, so you had started to do some work on her house.
That's correct.
When did you start to do the work on her house?
I believe it was July 24th or 25th. We worked there
Of
for 3 days.
2000?
Yes.
And how many days did you work there?
We worked there for 3 days, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
On the third day, we had the job almost completely done, the portion that we were doing, and she said, I'll finish it myself. Had never given us any money for materials besides a $500 check. She had not paid us for our labor,
Just a
which I
second.
had to pay my employee.
She gave you $500.
A check, that's correct, and that
Well,
was
the
in
check you
July of
cashed.
2000.
Shh, I'm speaking. She gave you a check for $500, and according to you, you worked there 3 days.
That's correct.
Do you have a contract with her?
But we had a verbal agreement.
Did you have a contract with her?
I did not, Your Honor.
Okay. Because no contractor starts a job that says it's between $8,000 and $10,000. When you
She
do
had a list.
I'm speaking. When you do a contract, you say this item is going to cost this and that item is going to cost that. You don't believe that the work that you did in 3 days was $4,000.
No, it was not, but subsequent to me accepting this job, I turned down numerous other jobs because I was going to be at this job for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks.
You have proof of that?
Not on hand, Your Honor.
Well, that's your defense. That's your defense to this action. So you should have proof. Now you're telling me she just came home one day and said, I don't want you to work on this project anymore.
That's correct, actually, Your Honor. A few days before that, she had told me that she loved me and wanted to be with me. We went to her house that evening. My brother and I spoke with her on doing this work. She had a large list, pulling out bushes, skylights, numerous work around her house that she had just purchased. We told her, okay, we can start in a couple of days. We came by on the Monday of the first part of the week. When we showed up, we asked her to open the garage door so we could unload
So you
materials.
didn't have another job right then?
No. I told her I could be there on Monday.
Just a second. So you were free immediately?
No, I
My
told her I could
statement
help
was
her
you
out.
were free immediately. She spoke to you the week before. You were able to start that Monday. So you were free. You didn't have any other commitments.
At present, I did not at hand. She had asked me first. I had other jobs that I went to. That's the main reason why.
No. My question was, and your response is, you had no other commitments that prevented you from starting her job immediately.
No, I did not.
Okay.
My father had just passed away, so therefore I was still grieving from his death. I had been taking care of him for the first part of that year as well.
Mr. Johnson, pay attention to me. This is about money. This is not about
I
your
have a bill
father's
here as well
unfortunate
that I normally
demise.
write up for customers
Okay?
that I work
Now,
for.
don't you understand when my mouth is moving? There is only one voice that I hear.
To apologize, Your Honor.
Good. Now, if you felt that she owed you money in July of 2000, why didn't you sue her?
I had spoken to my attorney on putting a lien on her house, and work picked up at that time, so I just filed the bill away that I had written up for the initial work that we had started.
Then I'd like to see the bill that you say you filled out then in July of 2000.
That's correct, Your Honor.
For the work that you started.
I do believe there's a legal term for this called quantum merit, Your Honor.
You didn't do $4,000 worth of work in 3 days. I know what the legal terms are. Quantum merit means that you are paid for the work that you do.
That's correct.
This is not the work that you did in 2.5 days.
She gave me a check for $500, that is it.
Pay attention. This is not the work that you did in 2.5 days. That's not what your answer is. Your answer is that you gave up other jobs because you had a job that you thought was going to last several weeks. That's your
correct.
defense.
That's correct.
So what are you showing me this bill for $4,000?
That's the work that we started doing. Halfway through that, she decided to tell us, and I'll finish the job myself, because the first day we arrived on the job, she had a new boyfriend there.
Your Honor, the reason that I...
Did you remove the countertop?
That's correct.
Did you install a new countertop?
That's correct.
One out of 3.
What do you mean 1 out of 3?
There are 3 countertops. He installed one, gouged the second one, and left the other one standing
That's
in my
false,
garage.
Your
Just a
Honor.
second. Is it there?
I paid somebody else to correct the job.
That's false, Your Honor. There was one section left not put in, Your Honor, and that was the sink side, and that was the day that she asked us to leave. She would finish the job herself.
I fired him because he verbally assaulted me.
What did he say?
That is
He
false,
quoted
Your
me
Honor.
that the job would take 3 days, cost about $800. We're talking tile on the floor, kitchen countertops, and a kitchen sink.
The initial job that we had quoted was just the surface.
On the 3rd day,
Not to
my
the
stove
countertop.
was still not put in its place. The countertops were, my kitchen was not functionable. He kept verbally assaulting me, making rude
that's
comments
false
to
again,
me.
Your Honor.
Please
I don't want to hear
interrupt
any
me.
interruptions.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Please don't interrupt.
That's a lie. That's a
It is
pure
not
lie.
a lie.
Out. Him. Out. And the next time somebody speaks, I'm going to resolve this case. It's not going to be to their satisfaction.
She's a liar. That's a lie.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There is not to be any discussion between the two of you, and you are to respond to my questions. That's the way I run a courtroom. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janelle Murray says ex-boyfriend Rule Johnson owes for an unpaid loan.
Okay. You fired them.
Yes.
Did he leave a sink there?
No. I bought my own sink.
Okay.
That's false as well, Your Honor.
Show me the bill.
I don't have the receipts. I had given them to her at the time.
You're a contractor. Contractors have bills. Can I see it,
Checks.
please? Did you buy a sink set, faucet, and plumbing?
I did not. That was to install her old faucet and plumbing with
You
the
didn't
new
do that.
sink.
Just a second. You didn't do that.
No. That was when she called us.
Just answer my question. You didn't do that.
No.
And you didn't buy the sink.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. That's false.
And yet you have no proof that you bought a sink, right?
I've got my witness, which you asked to leave the courtroom.
Yeah, because he has big mouth. He doesn't know where he is, and he's not coming back.
Well, when the plaintiff lies, I mean, it's only fair to stand up and say when somebody's a liar.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's how I resolve a case when you have a big mouth.
Fine.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, Your Honor.
You may step out.
She couldn't accept the fact that she couldn't have me.
He's obviously very full of himself.
She's been obsessive after my brother. She's stalked him.
Ladies, fair warning.
She's a crazy lady.
Pretty faces and money don't mix.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gilbraith versus Brown. Step forward.
30-year-old electrician Steve Gilbraith is suing his ex-wife, 30-year-old food care supervisor Kristen Brown, for an insurance settlement she received when their marital home burned down.
Mr. Gilbraith, you and the defendant had been married.
Yes, ma'am.
You are now divorced.
Yes, ma'am.
Your claim has to do with some property that was in the marital home. The marital home was destroyed by fire. The defendant was reimbursed for losses in that fire by insurance, and you want to be paid for the stuff that was in the house that belonged to you.
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay. So now I need some dates from you, sir. When were you and the defendant married?
We were married October 7th, 1989, divorced October...
Sure, just a second. I'll ask the questions. When did you separate?
Late 97, 98.
Do you remember the month?
I believe it was in January.
Of 1998. And when you separated, you were living in the home that burned down?
At the time, yes, and then I was asked to move out.
No, just a second. Just answer the question. Don't volunteer. Never volunteer. At the time that you separated, you were living in the house that burned down.
Yes.
The divorce became final when?
On October 29th, 99.
Almost 2 years after you had separated.
Yes.
And 1 month later, the house burned down.
That is correct.
After the final divorce.
That is correct.
Now, what property do you claim, sir, was left in the house when you moved out in January of 1998?
They were personal belongings of mine that the defendant had agreed that I could keep there.
You're volunteering information again. I said, what property did you leave in the house?
This is a list of everything, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Galbraith, between January of 1998 and the time of the divorce in October of 1999, had you gone back to the house at all for any of your property?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What property did you go back for?
Mainly at the time, it was my personal clothing and stuff like that. Things that I had left there were items that I was actually working on remodeling my son's room in the house, my tools and stuff like that. The majority of what I took out was my personal clothing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, I see a large document in there. Is that your judgment of divorce?
I have my the degree of dissolution here also.
I'd like to take a look at it. This says that at the time of your divorce, you and your wife had allocated all property that belonged to each of you.
That's correct.
And your judgment of divorce says that at the time of this agreement, you have decided whose property belongs to whom, and whoever has physical possession of that property now is the owner of that property. Did you know that?
Yes, ma'am.
The husband and wife agree that each party shall retain as his or her own, free and clear of any claims of the other party, all items of household goods and furnishings presently in his or her possession. That's what it says. So, at the time that the house burned down, sir, all the property in her possession was hers.
The power tools that were in the house I was using to, like I say, to remodel my son's house. Those are tools I use every day on my job. The items that was in there were items that we, her and myself, had agreed verbally that she would allow me to keep there.
Then you put it in this agreement. Did you have an attorney?
At the time, no.
Should have. You signed this.
As I said before, we had a dissolution, and it was an agreement between us in the best interest of our children to keep everything. We've been friends for over 20 years. We tried to keep it in the most friendly possible way we could.
That's fine. What I'm saying to you, Mr. Gilbraith, is that you keep it as friendly as possible. But when you outline in an agreement all other property, you talk about the house, you talk about the car, your truck, it names the truck, it names the year of the truck, the make of the truck, the model of the truck that you're going to keep. It talks about the car that she's going to keep, that she's going to keep up the insurance. You have to do certain deed transactions. It talks about all of those things. And then it talks about personal property. And if you had any personal property in that home, you'd just as easily say, listen, we have to put in another paragraph and list all this property that I have in the home that belongs to me. That's very easy. Didn't anybody tell you that, sir? Am I the first person who's told you that?
No, ma'am. I just, as I said, I assumed being friends that we were, that I could take her on her word.
Did you give him your word that this was all of his property?
No, ma'am, I didn't.
This list, which was made April of 2001, well after the fire.
That's how long it took me to get all of the records and inventory from the insurance company.
It may be, sir, but you had no insurable interest in the property as of the date of your divorce. Because as of the date of this divorce, you were not the owner of any property that was in her possession. It's a simple legal matter, unless she acknowledges that she was merely holding this property for you. You acknowledge that?
No, ma'am.
However, she knows the tools that were in my son's room and all my stuff that was there in that room was being done for her in regards to the remodel of that home, which I had promised I would finish. Unfortunately, a fire happened in the home before that.
That may be. But you're not suing under that theory that you were a workman doing renovation in the house, your tools were there when it burned down, and therefore those tools should be covered by her insurance.
It also says in my agreement any inheritant material that was in the house was also mine.
You're talking about under miscellaneous?
Yes, I had things that were given to me by my deceased mother and etc.
Mr. Gilbreth, don't pull my leg. Okay. The section that you're reading says the parties agree that each shall retain as his or own, free and clear of any claims of the other, all items of clothing and personal effects presently in his or her possession. The parties further acknowledge and agree that neither party shall have any enforcement rights to the other's inheritance or expectancies, and all future inheritances and expectancies shall remain the property of the inheritor, which means that if somebody dies in your family and leaves you money or property, she cannot claim any of that property. That has nothing to do with your power tools.
No, it has to do with quilts that were made by my mother and my grandmother.
You should have gotten them out before 2 years. Those were not power tools. You don't redo your son's room with quilts.
No, but that's things that she had stored.
Mr. Galbraith, this is a very simple case. You were divorced. At the time of your divorce, the judgment's divorce said all property that you each have in your individual possession belongs to each of you individually, free and clear of any claims by the other. You had the opportunity at the time of the divorce to include this list as property that was in the house that you intended to get back, that it was an agreement with the defendant that you would get back.
She knew
Very
that.
simple. I said including in the judgment of divorce. You did not do that. If you did not do that, you had no interest in any property in her home. Your case is dismissed.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
No good deed goes unpunished. Miss McCracken, according to your complaint, you moved in to the defendant's home with your family. You were having a difficult time. You were living in a small apartment.
Right.
You have 3 children?
No, I have 4, Your Honor.
Did all 4 children move into the home?
Yes.
So they allowed you to come and live in their home with an agreement that you would pay some modest rent.
No, that's not true.
No rent.
This is
That's
what
right.
happened. This is what happened.
Just a second.
Kathy.
Just answer my questions.
No.
Let me
that's,
talk.
Okay, that's not true.
So there was no agreement to pay rent?
No agreement at all.
Fine. So that they invited you to come into their home with your 4 children out of the goodness of their hearts?
No, we had made an agreement. Okay, this is the agreement. She took my dog. I think it was August. Yes, it was August when I moved into an apartment. I couldn't have the dog there. I stayed there in the apartment for about 9 or 10 months. I don't know.
I just get to the point.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What was the arrangement? Either you were going to pay them rent or you weren't going to pay them rent?
I can't answer that because I had moved in and Kathy had not given me, we had not sat down and talked about the amount yet because they were too busy going through my stuff.
Oh, right. Just a second. So what you're telling me was when you moved into their home with your 4 children, there was no agreement to pay rent. That's what you said.
No, I'm sorry. Ma'am, I'm nervous. I am nervous. I'm tired. There was an agreement. We had not discussed. I can't say a total amount because we had never came to agreement on the amount of money. She needed to go over her mortgage payments to find out exactly how much it was going to take to save her house because her husband was a loser and
Miss
didn't
McCracken,
work.
Miss McCracken, don't editorialize for me.
Okay,
The moment you moved into the house,
was-
I'm speaking, at the moment you moved into the house, you did not give them any rent. Let's do that.
Oh, no. I gave them money before I went into the house. And I gave them food stamps.
Just a second. Did you give them any money when you moved with your 4 children into their house? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
How much money did you give them? I'm not talking food stamps.
$60 I gave Kathy before I even moved into the house because she needed to send it to Las Vegas to her friend named Jet.
All right, $60. What other money did you give her?
I got her son some diapers and
I'm not talking about
that's
son
$20.
target. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. So
I was only
if
there a few days.
But your stuff was here much longer.
Miss Labram,
I'm sorry.
I don't want you to talk to her.
Okay, I'm
Because
sorry,
you
Your
won't
Honor.
give it to me.
This is what your lawsuit is about. You say that he assaulted one of your children.
Yes, he
which
did.
That's
forced
not
you.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to put you out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Which forced you to move out of the house. And when you moved out of the house, you didn't take a lot of your stuff with you, and you're suing also for $5,000 for your stuff and for the assault on your son.
Your Honor,
what
that's
you-
correct. Kathy assaulted my son Saturday night, my son Michael. She hit him in the face with a book. They were in the garage going through my stuff. She claimed this book belonged to her, and she attacked my son and hit him in the face with it. My son turned around and called the police the next morning on her, and
And what
John
happened?
lied. John lied to the police and told him that Kathy did not hit my son because he didn't want his wife going to jail because he knew he didn't have a job and they'd lose the whole house and everything.
If that were
So-
the case, why didn't you move out that day?
I'm going to tell
Then-
you,
I'm sorry.
Miss Labram, do it once more and you're out. Do you understand? You don't want to
Yes.
be out of here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm just
Okay.
really upset.
Okay. Now, is that the attack that you're talking about?
No,
That caused
Your
you to
Honor.
move out?
No.
Well, let's hear about the attack that caused you to move out.
This happened the next day. My son, after he had called the police on Kathy for hitting him in the face with a book, the next day John took it upon himself to tell my son to get the F out of his house.
And how old is your son?
16.
Okay, is he here?
No.
Where is he?
He's incarcerated.
For what?
I don't really want to say, Your Honor. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does.
Okay.
Up.
Okay.
Listen to me. Sit down. Maybe that'll keep you quiet.
Yes, Your Honor.
The next stop is the door. Okay. So tell me about this alleged assault by John.
John told my son what
To
happened.
get out.
Yes, to get out. Michael said, no problem. He's laughing. He started to get up and walk out. John jumped up and rushed my son. Tried to push him through the window.
Were you there?
Yes, I was right there. Kathy was right there.
And you
John,
witnessed
he
it. And
jumped.
you said he jumped up and pushed him.
Yes, he tried to push him through the window. And then my son turned around. They were fighting. Both of them were fighting. And Michael ended up getting John on the ground. And he started choking him. I mean, you got a 40-year-old man jumping a 16-year-old kid. That's uncalled for. And I didn't know what to do. I'm not going to jump in the middle of that. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I would like for my son to explain because he's the one
he
that
was in
helped
the
get
backyard.
Michael. You be quiet. I'm sorry.
Listen,
He helped get
listen to
Michael.
me. I'm basing my decision on what you tell me. You were a witness. And there was an argument between this man who told your 16-year-old son to get out of the house because he had just called, I'm speaking, because your 16-year-old son had just called the police on his wife. You were living in the house or whatever. Clearly, it was a bad idea. I'm not interested in the assault. I'm not interested in the assault. Let's get to the property. You ultimately moved out.
I moved out
That
right
day.
after that. Right
Fine.
immediately. I grabbed what I could and I took my kids and got out of there because
You
these-
didn't take, listen to me, you didn't take all your children. One of your children stayed with them.
No, we all left. He went back. My other son. That's why I'd like to call him up here. and
Just
let
a second. Your other son went back. For how long?
About a month and a half.
Step up here. Tell me your last name.
My last name is McCracken.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
You went back and stayed in the defendant's home for, according to your mother, a month and a half after this incident.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Because I was having problems with my own mother.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gail McCracken says former landlords Kathy and John Labram won't return her personal property. Gail also says that John violently attacked her 16-year-old son.
Okay. Now, you weren't afraid of the defendant?
Oh, no.
You weren't afraid of his wife?
No.
So you were having difficulty with your own mother, had absolutely no fear of the defendants, and went back to live with them.
Yes.
Did they charge you any rent?
No.
They were very nice to you.
Yeah.
They took care of you.
Yes.
Good. Sit down.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I also want to bring up the fact that I don't know why John turned against my dog. This is how this all started.
God.
I had them take care of my dog. Kathy agreed to take care of my dog while I lived in this apartment. Okay? And then half the time, John would call me up and say, Auntie Gail, oh, Auntie Gail, would you mind babysitting their little boy? Well, they would bring their son to me and leave him with me for 3 or 4 days, and I'd have to call him and say, you guys, you have to bring some diapers out.
Is this after you moved out?
This is before.
I'm not interested in before. You want to tell me something about your dog?
Okay, this is what happened. Because I had to live in the apartment, they took my dog, and while they had him there, he ended up with cancer. I had to get treatment for him. And then John kept calling him Neck afterwards, and I'd like to present this.
Listen to me. When you left, listen to me. When you left, hey, you're not listening to me. Your dog was living in their house for a long period of time, even when you weren't living there.
Right, Kathy agreed to this.
I don't care what she sounds like. A very nice person to me. Now, you say something happened to your dog. You want to tell me about what happened to your dog after you left their house, after the altercation?
Yes, I do. I went to go, that Friday, I had the Fresno Rescue Mission. They had provided me with a truck and a driver and another guy to help me with my stuff. I went over there to get it. Kathy decided not to let me have my stuff. And we argued about it, and I said, yeah, I just want to get my stuff, that's all. And she says, give me the key. As soon as she got the key in her hand, she ran over there and hit the garage door and shut the garage. I tried 3 times to bounce it back up.
The dog, madam. Oh, yeah. You want to tell me about the dog, which is what I asked you.
She goes, oh, here, take your dog with you that I've been taking care of. And when he came out, he had a stab wound, and it's just blood running everywhere. He was oozing. And the vet said that that stab wound helped the cancer to come back. And I had to have him put down not even a month after this.
Miss McCracken, something wrong with you. I don't believe that somebody who took care of your dog for months because you couldn't keep it, kept your 18-year-old son for months without charging him any rent because they felt sorry for him. I'm speaking. You told me in your complaint that they stabbed your dog to death. Now you tell me.
Not to death. I never put.
Now you tell me that they stabbed your dog with a screwdriver, is what you say here. Our dog died. This is devastating. Now you tell me that this stab wound caused the cancer to come back, which is what the dog
said, Your Honor. He was a family pet.
I'm going to deal with this case very quickly. Mr. Labor.
Yes.
You say that you wanted the stuff out of your house.
Absolutely.
Where is the stuff now?
She has mostly everything. We have like maybe 20, 30 boxes of basically letters and knickknacks and stuff like that.
Okay, where are all these letters and knickknacks?
They are on our back covered patio.
Okay. Miss, shh. You're showing him a tape. Is it on the tape that the boxes are there?
No.
May I speak?
No, I didn't ask anything yet.
I'm sorry.
The tape,
Good.
The tape is the day that they picked up what they could on one load and some of the damages to our home and the infestation of cockroaches, which that's why I was going through their stuff to rid the roaches so they didn't infest our house.
Can I please present this to you, please? These people are not the nice people that you're claiming. I mean, I'm not
claiming that they're nice people, madam. I'm just saying that you're not going to pull the wool over my eyes.
I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's
Sure you
eyes.
are.
All I've tried to do is get my stuff back from day one.
Perfect. You're going to get all your stuff back within 3 days. You provide the mover. After 3 days from today, if you do not show up to pick that up, your stuff can be thrown out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Thrown out.
I hear you.
You have 3 days from today.
I do understand you. I
3 days.
Thank you.
3
but, Your Honor,
days.
I want to say one thing. I don't think it's funny at all. My dog's dead. My kids have gone through nothing but pure, I can't say the word, that they put us through because I had to leave because he attacked my son. And the police didn't even do anything. I mean, how does a grown man attack a kid?
Listen to me, madam.
It's crazy.
Listen to me, madam. I don't believe that there was an attack on your son. What I believe was that there was an altercation between these two people, and the altercation was precipitated by the fact that your 16-year-old son called the police on his wife after they had been good enough to let your family move into their home without paying them a dime. Things couldn't be as terrible as you suggest because you're 18. I'm speaking. Because your 18-year-old son, rather than going with you, I'm speaking, went back to live with them, expense-free, for a month and a half. For a month and a half.
Built-in babysitter.
Built-in babysitter. No, he said he was going back to live with them because he was having problems with you.
He also didn't tell you everything that he witnessed, Your Honor.
Miss McCracken, you're not getting a quarter, not a penny. Not a sou.
I don't
You're getting
care.
your
I
stuff
just want
back.
my stuff. It's all
Perfect.
I've
Then we
ever
don't have to
wanted,
talk
Honor.
anymore.
May I speak? Please.
No.
Please.
But Your
No.
Honor,
Oh my
No.
God.
No, not yet. Madam, you are getting closer to that door.
My heart is...
You're getting closer to that door. When I want to hear from you, I'll call you. You got it? Now, let's talk about damages to the home. That I want to see. Now your wife can stand up here. She's getting closer to being able to speak. Closer, not there yet. Stand up. Okay. I'd like to see the tape.
There you go.
Sure than a porno.
That's the carpet right there. There's no padding. The dog chewed the padding all up.
Did you allow the dog to come into your house?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the
But
garage
she
door.
agreed to pay the damages, though. That's the
Oh,
gar-
I'll get to that in a second. What is
That's
that?
That's the garage door where the dog just scratched the heck up out of the door.
Yes.
They're lying.
Miss McCracken.
I didn't put those scratches there.
That was never there. You're lying, John.
Miss McCracken, I want you to be quiet. Okay. You say there was an agreement with Miss McCracken to pay for the damage done by the dog. Is that
Correct.
right?
That's correct.
Who was that made with?
Me and Gail. Gail and I were the ones that made all agreements. That's why
All
John
right,
is
so
really the
tell me-
wrong person to be talking.
Just pay attention to me.
Okay.
Madam. So far, he's not doing a bad job. I want to hear what arrangements you made with her with regard to paying for any damage the dog did to your home.
May I speak now, Your Honor?
Now I just asked you a question.
Thank
you can
you.
answer my question.
Okay. The arrangement that we made was when I took the dog, 2 dogs, both male, not neutered, she told me it would be for approximately 2 weeks. These dogs were there for 9 months. One, we had to not allow to stay because the 2 dogs would constantly fight. That's why the bedroom was damaged, because she said that when one has to, you have to keep one inside, one outside, because they would fight. So I'd have to take one, lock it in the bedroom, take it outside, so the other one could go to the bathroom. I cleaned up their blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she had agreed. She said, any damages that these dogs do while on your property, I will pay for. And also, during the surgery that she said that the dog had, I cleaned its wounds.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, my
That's
God.
why I've taken back to the
Anyway,
vet twice.
So the
Ms.
agreement was
McCracken,
she would pay
I'm
for
going to
any
dismiss
damages.
your lawsuit in total. Do you understand that? I think that, you, quite frankly, you got some nerve to sue them. I
Your
really
Honor,
do. I'm speaking.
I would like to produce this, please.
Oh, she's trying to show me something.
To show she wanted me to move in to help her finalize her divorce, okay? She's scared to death, and
I'm
this
divorced.
is her rap she laid on me to move into the house.
I don't, Madam.
Neither one of
Madam,
them were working at the
listen,
time, Your Honor.
Listen to me. She took care of your dogs for 9 months.
Your Honor.
I'm speaking. She took care of your kid for 2 months after you moved out because he was afraid to live with you.
He was never there.
Oh, Miss McCracken, you've got a lot of nerve. Now, either you people are dumb to have allowed this to happen in your house.
It's embarrassing.
Or just,
Oh,
or
God.
I don't know what. Clearly,
Big heart.
clearly, there's something wrong with you.
No, I have a big
Clearly,
heart.
there's
No,
something
yeah,
wrong
you
with
have a
you.
big heart.
And I don't understand
Gail?
what it is. All right, so let's talk about it. I do believe that there was an agreement, because otherwise you would be crazy to keep these dogs, that whatever damage the dogs did, she would take care of.
She never
Because
had all
that
those dogs.
sounds logical to me.
Absolutely.
It doesn't sound reasonable to me that you would keep these dogs that were doing damage to your house, and one dog was returned to you. Is that right?
The one
Speak.
dog she'd only
Just-
had for a little time. And
It
he
was
tore up the
returned
carpet
to
and
you.
I took him to the SPCA. 'cause I
It
couldn't do
was
anything with him.
returned to you.
I just want to say she
No, I
stated
don't
that
want
the
you to
dogs
say
were there
anything.
9 months. There was only one dog there.
I understand that.
Okay, the other dog was only there a little bit.
I
okay?
said that.
Oh, something wrong with you. Should
I'm
have stayed
mad.
away from her longer.
I'm very mad.
No, you can be very mad, but
And
you
he's
have absolutely
lying.
no
I don't
basis to be
Appreciate
very
you talking
mad.
about my mother like that, all right?
I want to tell you something.
All right?
He's got him. You have a nerve filing a complaint against them for $5,000. I have no idea why you think that you are entitled to claim $5,000 in damages against these people. Absolutely none. You moved with your 4 children into their home, which, believe me, to have
Big
5
mistake.
people in the home, not paying a quarter, by the way, not a quarter, nothing, except your food stamps.
Oh, I stocked her whole refrigerator and had to leave and had nothing, no money, no nothing.
Kids have to
And
eat.
you took all the food with you when you left,
kept
Gail.
it, Kath.
All right, quiet. Okay, The only thing she's getting out of this lawsuit is getting her stuff.
Thank God. Thank
3
you,
days.
Your Honor.
And
I
what you're
appreciate
getting on your counterclaim is the $120 that you got as an estimate to repair the carpet. Don't be foolish again. You do not invite strangers into your home. Do you understand?
Strange.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very
Don't invite strangers into your home.
She also agreed to have our house sprayed for the roaches she brought in, too.
Listen to me.
I
Listen
told
to
him
me.
in
You
the
may have had
beginning.
roaches in there, and I don't.
I've never before.
And,
Right.
and maybe not.
Absolutely not.
The
I
agreement
told
she
him
made is
before
an
I would
agreement,
put everything in
though?
storage until and
Don't
get rid of it,
do
bomb
it.
it, and do it all. And
Will
no,
not.
bring it in
Do you
there. They
understand?
needed my money
Never.
for their house.
Ever.
They were going to lose their
embarrassing that-
house.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Osland, you're really involved with this case. Is this your husband?
Yes, it is.
Your daughter had a baby. Is this
Yes,
your
ma'am.
first grandchild?
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, you bought a camcorder for her to record and memorialize the baby's first smile coming home, and you loaned it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And she refuses to return it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I gather precipitated this bad blood between you and your daughter, I'm sure there's a lot more underneath,
Oh, yes.
is that at some point you went to a shopping mall to take pictures of the new baby, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And they took pictures of the new baby that was supposed to be your pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
And your daughter and you had some sort of a falling out. So she went to pick up the pictures. There was a fight, so now you want the pictures and you want the camcorder. Daughter says the camcorder was a gift, and I don't know what she says about the pictures.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay. When the baby was born, was everybody happy?
Yes. She invited me down to the delivery room, and I was in the delivery room
Is that
with her
right?
and everything, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I did invite her.
So everything was okay. So the baby was born.
Yes, ma'am.
Boy or girl?
Little girl.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
Less than 24 hours.
So it was an easy delivery,
Very.
in and out? Or just out?
Quick.
Who took you home from the hospital?
My boyfriend did.
You're the boyfriend.
Yes.
And you live together with your boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any plans to get married?
Not right now.
Any reason?
Just not ready.
Ready to have a baby but not get married?
It wasn't planned.
But you are living together as a family.
Yes.
When did you buy the camcorder? Before or after the baby was born?
Before.
And when did you physically allow your daughter to have possession of the camcorder?
It was, let's see, a day after the baby was born. My sister had just had a baby, too, and then we all went to the hospital after she had her baby.
So you saw her in the hospital?
Yes.
And is that when you turned the camcorder over to her?
Yes.
She's
And-
lying. She gave it to me a week before the baby was born.
So let me hear your version of what happened.
Okay, we went to the hospital, me and my sister, to visit, and then I gave my daughter, that day I gave her a Harley Davidson outfit that my husband wanted the baby to wear.
Okay.
And the camcorder.
What did you say to her when you gave her the camcorder?
I told her, this is to film your baby with.
And that's what you said to her?
Yeah, I didn't say it was a gift.
You didn't say it was a gift?
No,
According
ma'am,
to
I
you, you
didn't.
didn't say it was a gift, and you didn't say, I'm loaning this to you. You said, I want you to use this to record the
Yes,
baby.
ma'am. Yes.
Now, according to you, let me hear your version of how the camcorder came into your possession.
I was on maternity leave. I went on maternity leave a week early from work, and I went over to visit, and they gave it to me in a little Harley-Davidson handle bag. And they said that it was a gift. It was supposed to be for Christmas, but since I was having a baby, they gave it to me early.
And did you record the baby?
No, we haven't.
Why not?
We've had many photo albums. We're using the
Okay, so
camera
you-
more often.
Okay. So, now you're going to take pictures of the baby. How old was the baby when you went to take the pictures at the mall?
Almost a month.
Tell me how that came about.
She wanted to take pictures. We went to the mall.
You went to a studio?
Yes,
in the mall?
JCPenney.
And you have to pay for those pictures?
Yes.
Did your mother pay for them?
She paid for them on her check card.
So it's clear that the pictures were for her, right?
The agreement was for both of us.
No.
Probably for both of you. Probably for both of you. But it was clear that the pictures were her idea. She paid for them.
Yes.
And she was going to pick them up.
Yes.
But you went to pick them up. Tell me why.
We had an argument about a week before the pictures were supposed to come in.
What was the argument about?
Me going down to Louisiana for Thanksgiving.
No. That's...
Just a minute. You... Yes?
She was mad that
I was taking our daughter down to Louisiana to see his sister, and that she never gets to see the baby. And then I knew she wasn't going to give his family any of the pictures because she even said so. So I went and picked them up 2 days early, and I offered her the money.
What was the fight about?
It was about him not claiming her baby. He doesn't want to claim the baby because he doesn't think it's his.
I already have claimed the baby.
That's good.
No, I'm asking you what the fight was about. It wasn't about Thanksgiving?
No, ma'am. It was about him claiming her baby. And she said since I didn't like Chris because he wouldn't claim the baby, then I can't see my grandchild. And I haven't seen her since.
You swore against her.
Let's deal with the pictures first. It was spiteful to go and have to pick up the pictures 2 days early.
Yes, I know.
Okay, and I think you understand that. And that precipitated, I want my camcorder back. Otherwise, if everything was going just fine, the camcorder would have remained with your daughter to take pictures of the baby because that's really what you bought it for.
Yes.
But when she didn't give you the pictures back, and then you got to the house and there was an altercation about the pictures, because then you went there, according to what
Yes,
I read.
I
and said,
did. And I got slapped in the mouth besides.
Give me the pictures, and that was terrible. How old are you?
21.
And you?
Almost.
23.
Other than this incident and the normal kind of things that you have with parents, especially that girls have with their mothers, you know, that's a very unique kind of relationship. It's very often this love-hate thing that goes back and forth as you're getting older. Usually it resolves itself when girls are about 30. So you have 9 years left.
Thanks.
But usually it resolves itself. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your mother. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your daughter.
Yeah, I know that.
And somehow daughters tend to stay angry.
Very.
Your mother was excited about your baby after she resigned the fact that you were having one.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Well, you asked her to be in the delivery room. She came. According to you, she bought you a camcorder. She was interested enough that she wanted to have pictures of the baby to show around, right?
Yes.
So she was involved.
After a while, yes.
Well, it takes some time, Julie.
She wanted me to abort it at first.
Julie, listen to me. She's got a 21, then maybe 20-year-old, beautiful daughter who is intelligent, with hopefully a bright future, who comes to her and says, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have this baby, I'm going to live with my boyfriend, we're not ready to commit to marriage, but we're going to live together. You think she should throw a party? No. Julie, I guarantee you, if your daughter comes to you and says the same thing, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be nuts. Because that's the natural thing. I mean, parents only want what's best for their kids. And certainly this baby at your age, being not married, is complicating your very young life. You don't expect your mother to be ecstatic about that.
No.
But ultimately, she came to accept it. You have the pictures of the baby?
Not with, no.
It's a very easy thing to make copies of those pictures. Have you done that?
No.
Will you do that?
For her?
Yes.
I don't want her having them.
Julie, you haven't heard anything that I said, darling.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I don't want the pictures. I just want the money. I want to be done with
Well,
this.
how much were the pictures?
They were $182.47.
You were absolutely entitled to the money for the pictures.
Yes,
I think
want
that the
money.
camcorder is a different story. I honestly believe that the camcorder was given to your daughter, and that the reason you now say you want it back is because of this terrible altercation with regard to these pictures and the fight that you had, which should have been over a long time ago. But Julie, you're still angry.
Yes, I am.
Get unangry.
I'm more hurt.
Join the crowd.
Parent, listen to me. Parents aren't perfect. Doesn't mean that your mother loved you any less. She came around eventually, right?
Yes.
Came around.
It's been going on for 8 years now, though.
Practically since you became a teenager.
Yes.
Wait until your daughter turns 13.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know what, Your Honor? I can't wait.
Trust me. You'll see your daughter doing certain things. You'll try to discourage her from doing those things, and there's that friction. And it's usually with mothers who had made sufficient number of mistakes to say, listen, I made those mistakes. I don't want my daughter to do what I did. And then there is a clash, and it usually doesn't get over for a long time. So try to get unangry. Parents aren't perfect. Kids aren't perfect. There is that unconditional love you're supposed to have. And equally as important, You don't deprive your daughter of a grandparent. Children, little children, like that community of affection.
His family's big enough.
Do you know what the divorce rate is in this country?
Very high.
50%. Do you know what that percentage goes to with people who are living together without benefit of marriage who can't make up their minds? Probably 90%. So there is a 90% chance that you and this young man will not be together in 10 years. She'll always be your mother. And after the two of you have gone your own separate ways, hopefully amicably, because there's a 90% chance that that's going to happen, maybe your daughter will see her paternal family. Maybe. Because usually when two people separate, there's usually lots of hostility. There's lack of child support, there's lack of all those other things. So usually it's not so amicable. But she'll always be your mother. So what you're saying now is very youthful. You know, he's got a big enough family. I've heard that before. You only have one mother. And she's not perfect. I guarantee you she's not perfect. But you got to get the mad off. It eats you up inside. Try at least. Anyway, pay for the pictures, $182.47. Maybe you can go out for a cup of coffee. That's it.
Parties are excused. You can step out.
She's not going to see her granddaughter, and we're not going to have a relationship anymore.
I think it turned out good. At least I got the money back for the pictures. As far as not seeing my granddaughter, I will.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bryant versus Williford. Step forward, please.
41-year-old homemaker Loretta Bryant is suing 40-year-old surgical technician Lori Williford. Loretta claims Lori's son, 17-year-old Matthew, assaulted her daughter with an ashtray.
Miss Bryant, you and the defendant at one point shared a home together.
No, ma'am. It was my daughter, Rhiannon.
Do you know anything about this?
I'm suing in behalf of my daughter because she's a minor child.
Okay, why don't you have a seat, please? Step up. You shared a home with the defendant.
Yes, ma'am, I did. Him and his girlfriend, Melissa.
Are you the mother, too?
I'm the mother, too.
Would you sit down? Stand up here. According to your complaint, an incident occurred where the defendant assaulted you with an object.
An ashtray.
Go ahead.
They had stayed out all night, him and his friend. Melissa was very worried. They came in. Matt proceeded to tell her that he did not love her. He did not want to be with her, and he wanted to move out. After we had spent all this money in getting the house, his friend was being very rude to me. He was calling me names, and I kicked him out of my house.
How did you do that?
I struck him in the head a few times.
With what?
And the phone. He had the phone in his hands.
So you struck his friend?
Yeah, his friend. I made him leave. I went back to my room. I heard one loud sound, and that was when ashtray hit my door. It made a hole in my door about this big around. I opened the door, and the other ashtray hit me.
Where did the ashtray hit you?
It hit me on my arm, right here. My arm immediately swelled up. The police came. They said seek medical attention. We did not press charges because that night Matt had said he was sorry and that he was going to pay my hospital bill.
How much was your hospital bill?
It was $225.
Was that an emergency room visit?
Yes, it was not the hospital. It was a place called EmergiCare, and it's just like a little facility where you go and reach medical attention right then and there.
Okay. What other bills did you have as a result of your injured arm?
I was out of work.
For how long?
2 days.
What was your wage each day? What did you take home each day?
I would say anywhere from $32 to $36 for both days together.
For both days? Mm-hmm. Let's hear it.
All right. I left the night before because of drug use had been going on. And I come back, and it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, me and my friend Jonathan. Her and Jonathan started saying something to each other, and he said some vulgar stuff to her, and she hit him in the head with the phone. And I told her to get out my face. She went in the red room, and I was very frustrated.
So she got out of your face?
Yeah, right.
As you had requested?
Yes, ma'am.
Pick it up from there.
All right. I picked up an ashtray and throwed it towards the door.
What'd you do that for?
I was mad.
Okay,
And
so you hit the door.
I hit the door, and I picked up another one and threw it the same direction. The door was closed, and then she opened the door and the ashtray hit her. I freaked out because, I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. And I took off out the door because I didn't know what to do.
So then you admit that you threw an ashtray.
Yes, ma'am.
The ashtray hit her in her arm.
Yes, ma'am.
You got scared and you left.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you pay the medical bill?
I did not have that kind of money at the time.
You want to say something? Yes. Go ahead.
I talked with Miss Bryant. She called me a few weeks after this happened, and I told her, I said, you know, I do not have that kind of money. I'll be willing to work with you, but I don't have that kind of money. And she was just very ugly, cussing me out, and I said, whatever you got to do with this, go ahead and do, because she was very vulgar to talk with.
No, ma'am, that's not how it happened. He agreed to pay her bill. 2 days later, he's like, I'm not paying it, do whatever it is you got to do. I called her on the phone, and yes, we did have some words, but she was just as heated as I was because we were both frustrated at the situation. I did not cuss her out. That's a barefaced lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why didn't you pay this bill?
I didn't feel responsible to have to pay it.
Why?
It would never have occurred if she wouldn't have started it.
Can I see those ashtrays, please? Bird, thank you. Even though you didn't intend to hurt her, you intended to vent your frustration at the door, right?
Correct.
Which is the ashtray that hit you?
The blue one. It had charcoal on it.
Just a minute. That's a pretty heavy weapon. You know, you could kill somebody with that?
I was not thinking at the time.
Right. Well, if you're not thinking, then you're acting stupid. And if you're acting stupid and you cause injury to somebody, you have to pay for it, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say one thing to you. The person that you hit on the head with the telephone would have the same complaint about you. And the first person to use any physical force, was who?
That was me.
Right. Not smart. So the violence in that, the physical violence, Ms. Bryant, was started really by your daughter. Not against him, but against somebody else. You are clearly responsible for the injury to her arm. I don't have your friend Jonathan here, who was clobbered over the head, so I don't have to deal with that. Was there any repercussion as a result of that assault?
No, ma'am.
Jonathan just took care of the bump on his head, is that right?
Jonathan had a lot of personal problems anyway.
Well, being hit on the head with a telephone didn't help. All right, the bills that I see here, are, together with the medical bill, $261. So what do you think that Matt should pay?
I think Matt should at least pay the bills. Pay what he agreed to pay.
Absolutely right. And for your day's wages.
Mm-hmm.
$261, judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats, please.
You're Mrs. Bridges?
Yes, ma'am.
And who are you?
I'm Mr. Bridges, David.
Well, you weren't there during the course of this incident that brings us to court today.
No, ma'am.
Is that right? So why don't you have a seat?
Okay.
Tell me your first name.
Brittany.
Brittany, you have a boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Your boyfriend is her stepson.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your boyfriend here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Boyfriend. According to your complaint, you were at the defendant's house. You were having an argument with your boyfriend. The argument got kind of loud. The defendant, his stepmother, came outside. There was some sort of an altercation, and at the end of this altercation, according to you, the defendant burned up all of your CDs.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing for the value of those CDs and also some mental anguish. And she has a rather interesting defense to the CDs, although she acknowledges she burned them, correct?
That's right.
When did this incident occur?
July 3rd.
And you were at the defendant's home.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing there?
Me and my boyfriend went up there to go swimming
How long has he been your boyfriend?
for nearly 2 years.
So you know the defendant very well.
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume that you had always had a nice relationship with her.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened on this particular day when you went over there to go swimming?
Well, me and him got into an argument, and she came out there and was asking, she was in our argument, and...
What did she say?
She was just trying to, ask us what was going on, and we told her, and she was like, well, y'all don't need to be fighting and all this. Then she started getting ill with Rodney. So Rodney...
She started to get what?
Ill, and was just starting to holler at Rodney.
Where was this argument taking place, Brittany?
We were walking down from the pool house when me and him was arguing, going to the house, and then she came outside.
Were you yelling? Were you raising your voices?
No, ma'am.
What were you arguing about?
The tanning bed.
Tanning bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
We were arguing who was going to get in first. It was stupid.
Okay. So she came out and she started hollering at the boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Her stepson.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And then Rodney just told her that we wanted to leave. So he went to the house and got all his clothes and put them in his car, and her car was parked behind his car, which was in the garage. And it was blocked in, and he asked her, he said, will you move your car? And she said, no, y'all are not leaving. He said, yes, we can leave if we want to. And she said, no, I'd like to see y'all leave. So that time, Rodney just said, look, I'm going to call your mom and see if we can call the police to get my car out of the way. And so we walked over to the side of the house and called the police. And that time, she walked over there and got in his car and got all of his clothes and my CDs. We didn't know what was going on. Then her granddaughter and grandson came over there and told us that she was burning all of our stuff.
What happened next?
We ran over there, and Rodney kicked over the 55-gallon drum to see if anything was saved, and everything was burned.
Was there a fire in the 55-gallon
Yes, ma'am.
drum? What was in the fire?
All his clothes and my CDs.
So what happened after you saw your stuff burning?
Well, she was yelling at me, trying to fight me.
What do you mean try to fight you?
She told me, when we went up to the fire, she was like, get off my property, and we were like, okay. And then she was chasing me out into the road, trying to fight me for I don't know what reason.
All right, Miss Kimbrough, let me hear your version of these events.
Okay, they were out in the yard fighting. First, my husband went out, and he couldn't stop them, so I went out, and they had went back up to the pool. And I asked them what happened, and Brittany said it was her fault. And I said, Rodney, no matter whose fault it is, you don't need to be talking to her like that, and you don't need to be cussing. Our neighbors...
Is that what he was doing? He was cursing?
Very badly. Both of them were cursing. And I told him not to do that because our neighbors had called and could hear them, and our 2 grandchildren was there and heard it. So they came running back down to the house, and Rodney went into the bathroom, got his clothes out of the dryer, and he said he was leaving. But now his car was in my carport because it wouldn't run. It wouldn't even crank. So I knew he couldn't go nowhere, but I did ask him to leave. And my daughter Summer had came up, and something had happened earlier that day that I don't really know, but Brittany and Rodney and Summer were arguing. Well, when she came up, they started again. And I was trying to stop them, and when Summer walked over, Rodney pushed her back, and then when he pushed Summer, I started over there, and he just, pushed me. And when Brittany was cussing us, Rodney was standing there with his hands out like this, letting her cuss. And I just said, would you please call your mother to come get you, Brittany? So Rodney looked at his daddy and said something really bad. And I don't know if, I should say that, but it was really said no effing body could whip him. And then he looked at me and he told me something really bad that it's hard to say, but he took off running when he said it. And I got mad when he said that because it hurt me because I'd really been good to Rodney.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 13 years, but now we've raised Rodney most of those years he's been with us. And I grabbed his clothes, what few he had gotten out of the dryer, and I took them up to the barn and I burned them. And the CDs that was in there, I didn't see those when I grabbed the clothes. They just got mixed up because they was in the front seat of the car. And when I threw them over, I saw the case. It was a very small little CD case. And they were not Brittany's CDs.
How do you know that?
Well, they were Rodney's, and they was, in his car.
How do you know that?
Well, they had his name on them.
She says that they were her CDs.
No,
but in
ma'am.
a case that had his name on it.
It said Rodney Loves Brittany on the case. It didn't have just his name on it. I've got his CD case here, and I've got the CDs that was burned, the cases for them, what I had.
She had not said anything about the CDs at all until later that night when her stepdad called me and asked me for $600 to pay for the CDs.
I've got the burnt CDs too.
No, I believe that they were her CDs.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This one is called Mo Thugs, DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Did you ever hear of Barry Manilow?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Brittany Manis says her boyfriend's stepmother, Jackie Kimbrough, burned her CDs.
What's important is, Miss Kimbrough, you're the mother. You acted out of anger when you burned the stuff. And certainly, I'm not excusing young kids who were outside in front of your house, embarrassing you in front of your neighbors, cursing. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for you, nor your husband, to become involved. According to Brittany, you had always had a pleasant relationship. So you think she was just having a bad day, or were you and Rodney outside?
We weren't cursing.
No?
No, ma'am.
Well, what do you think Mr. Kimbrell came outside for?
We weren't cursing. We might have been raising our voice, but we wasn't
Okay, so
loud.
now we're raising voices. So
We
first you
wasn't
told me
loud.
you weren't raising voices, now you're raising voices. Did Rodney say something to his dad that was nasty?
Well, he said it to her,
He
to
said
Jackie.
it to both of us. He said
He
it to
hugged his
Roger.
dad and said it to Jackie.
Were you outside when he said that?
Yes, ma'am.
There were neighbors who lived close by?
I don't know how close. I don't know if there's somebody that lives right next door, but I know somebody lives in the trailer down the road.
There was a neighbor sitting directly across the house from me. His trailer sits in front, and he was sitting in his yard.
There isn't a question in my mind, Miss Kimbrell, that these CDs belong to Brittany. How many CDs were in your case?
31.
31?
Yes, ma'am.
How large was this case?
It was about this big, but we had them back to back, like 2 or 3 CDs in one little packet.
How do you know there were 31 CDs in there?
Because I've got all the CD cases that I had in there, most of them.
But what do you mean most of them?
That's just most of the CD cases that I have that I haven't lost. But I've written down all the names of the CDs.
Let me see them.
It was a very small CD case.
I think, Miss Kimbrell, you were probably
Here's
so
the
angry.
CD case, and here's the list.
You didn't much care what the CD case looked like. You just made a big grab
I was
for
very
every...
upset.
You just made a
Things
big
he said to
grab
me,
for
but it
everything.
wasn't
Here's the
small
list
case.
of CDs.
These are the cases that are now empty. Is that
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 empty cases. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's the ones that I could find.
Now, those are the only ones you're going to get. Now, you have a bill for these? How much were they?
We found the approximate amount for the 31 that was in there.
Forget 31. You have proof of these, 14. Let me see what kids listen to. 18 rock hard hits, 504 boys, B-O-Y-Z.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Booty Mix 4.
They've never been allowed to listen to him at my house.
This one is called Mo Thugs.
That has
Some
2
guys
CDs.
look like I sentenced a couple of years ago. Dr. Dre.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he a physician?
Not really.
Master P. Now, here are 4 normal-looking girls.
Destiny's Child. I
Very
like
nice-looking girls. Normal. DMX. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. What happened to Benny Goodman?
it. He was replaced by Bootleg Booty.
Bootleg Booty. Oh, Master P again. Who's the big fan of Master P?
Me.
You are.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever hear of Barry Manilow?
No, ma'am.
Never heard of Barry Manilow?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you're asking me about the worth of these albums, since you don't have receipts for them, right?
We don't usually keep our receipts for CDs.
How much do they cost?
On the average, about $15 a CD.
$210. 14 times 15. That's the average. What are you doing sitting over there? Who did you come to court with today?
Brittany?
Your Honor, I tell you the reason Rodney's here today is because he was threatened by David and Tammy to come to court, or at the time this happened, Brittany was 15 and Rodney was 19. And if Rodney will admit to telling the truth, this is what was said. They said that they was going to get him for a statutory rape if he didn't come to court and be a witness for Brittany. And said they'd never let him see Brittany again.
Your Honor, that is not true.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Brittany Manis says her boyfriend's stepmother, Jackie Kimbrell, burned her CDs.
Okay. On the CDs, you're going to get $210.
What about
Forget your mental anguish.
My bathing suit.
What?
My bathing suit top and my picture, she still hasn't returned.
Do you have any of that stuff?
I have her bathing suit top, but she came in the house and got everything else.
No, ma'am, I did not
that
go in
belonged
their
to her.
house.
Whatever. I don't have anything else in the complaint about anything else. You have a bathing suit top? Give her a bathing suit top. As far as your lawsuit, which seeks damages for mental anguish of $1,500 because you saw your CDs burn, you better go and wash out your mouth. And when you learn not to cuss at adults, then we'll talk about mental anguish. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They had a pretty good argument, and I went out to break it up, and like I said, they just kind of turned on us.
I don't care what they said to them or cussed or whatever. They're adults and they're children.
I just hope everybody can get along now.
And now the next case.
All parties on Trimble versus Maurer. Step forward, please.
41-year-old accountant Julie Trimble is suing her ex-boyfriend, 34-year-old handyman Jeffrey Maurer, for a series of unpaid loans to pay his bills.
All right, let's cut to the chase, Miss Trimble. You lived with this man for 3 years, according to your complaint, and say that over the course of the 3 years, he built up a debt to you for miscellaneous bills and expenses. He finally decided to leave sometime in October of this year. He gave you a check, packed his bags, and left.
Correct.
And now you went over all your bills, and you want him to pay a whole bunch of money that he hadn't paid over the 3 years you were living together.
Correct.
Did he ever sign a note to you?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Did he ever sign a lease with you?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Did you have a lease agreement with him, even though it wasn't in writing?
No, ma'am, I did not.
So what do you think he owes you for?
Over the course of 3 years, I just basically went back from last December. He was living with me. We were boyfriend and girlfriend, and he had agreed to pay a third of the rent and the utilities because it was myself, my daughter, and him living there. And he also had incurred a lot of personal expenses that he didn't have the means to pay at the time. So I loaned him money on just various things, paying for his utility bills at a house that he was refurbishing.
Well, what was the repayment agreement? If you say you made these loans to him, what was the repayment agreement?
That I would pay these bills for him and he would pay me as soon as he got back on his feet.
What if he never got back on his feet?
Well, his whole contention is that he was rebuilding this house of his and he was going to sell the house, and he also had a truck that he was trying to sell, and with those proceeds he was to reimburse me for all of these expenses. I have a ledger that I made up for him. I used to give him periodically, plus I have backup of all of the utilities, the groceries, all of the personal checks.
Ms. Trimble, we don't do that in court. If two people decide to live together without benefit of marriage, and then they break up, which they do more than 50% of the time, probably more than 80% of the time, and then come to courts and say, listen, we lived together for 3 years, we lived together for 10 years. During that time, I paid for this, and he was supposed to pay me back, and he never did, and that was 3 years ago or 5 years ago. If you expect courts to get involved with that, you're barking up the wrong court. I tell you that. Put your hand down. I didn't ask you anything.
Yes, sir.
Good. Women do this. It seems to me women do it a lot more often than men. Women say, I'll take care of him. He promised as soon as his uncle straightens out, he's going to give you the money. As soon as he puts his life in order. As soon as he gets the house built. As soon as he sells the truck. Some people never get their lives in order, Miss Trimble.
Right. Well,
and he did give you a check when he left.
Yes, he did.
And in what amount was that check?
That check was for $2,200.
He said it was $2,800. You have the check?
Yes, I have the check here, and
I'd
yes,
like to see it.
I was mistaken. It is $2,200.
Can I see it, please?
And also 2 other checks that I gave her within weeks of leaving anyway. So I actually gave her over $3,000.
Who crossed out paid in full?
I did when I cashed the check.
No, you can't do that, Miss Trimble.
He hadn't paid me in full.
No, Miss Trimble, you can't do that, madam. What you are alleging is that over the course of 3 years, you advanced money to this man.
Correct.
And he gave you a check at the time you terminated your living arrangement, and he had written on the check, loan payoff paid in full. You accepted the check, and then you cashed it. If you choose not to accept this check as full payment of all loans, you don't cash it. Give it back to him. And you let me finish. Okay. And you say to him, I'm not accepting this check. Give me another check. that just says partial payment on loans, and then we have an agreement that this was partial payment on the loan. But you cannot take a check and change the face of the check and cash it and say he still owes me more money. You can't do that.
Well, at the time that he had given me that check, he left it laying on my table, moved out, and I had no way to get a hold of him. So my only best interest was to go there, cash the check at his bank the next morning when they opened, so I would at least be guaranteed part of the money that he owed me.
And that's what you were guaranteed, and that's what you're going to get. Period. Who are you?
I'm a friend of hers.
You know anything about the law?
No, I don't.
Good.
But I'd like to add something, Your Honor.
About
You're
what?
saying the loan. Rent and
just a
utilities are not loans.
Thank you very much. I didn't ask for an instruction in the law. The law is that you accept a check in full payment of all outstanding loans, and you've accepted that check. You cannot change that check and say, it's not all that you owe me. Now you owe me more. So, Ms. Trimble, be smarter the next time. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The man got in trouble.
Morning, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
According to the complaint that I've read, you loaned the defendant a car because he was in dire straits, and you said he could borrow yours until he got one that was supposed to be forthcoming very soon. Is that right?
For 2 weeks, we told him he could borrow a vehicle.
And he borrowed your car for 2 weeks. He kept it a lot longer than 2 weeks. By the time you got it back, it was pretty well trashed.
Correct.
So you are suing him for $5,000, a little high for the kind of car that you loaned to him. The car was a 12-year-old car?
Correct.
Okay. So were they very nice to you to lend you the car?
Yes, they were.
And why didn't you take care of it?
I did take care of the car, Your Honor. I did extensive...
Let's start with the windshield. Windshield was broken while it was in your custody.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you fix it?
No, ma'am. I could not get it fixed.
Then you didn't take good care of it.
Ma'am, the extensive amount of what happened was not in my control.
I don't care it was in your control. The car was in your control.
The car was in my control.
So then why didn't you fix the windshield?
Because I was not working at the time. What happened was...
So what you're saying to me, it was your responsibility, but you didn't have the money.
Ma'am, there was 7 days notice. I was getting a threatening call from the plaintiff, the lady, had given me a call saying to me, demanding that I have to come up with $300 within 4 days.
How long did you keep the car?
I had the car for 2 months. The car sat for a month in my driveway because it had a broken windshield, Your Honor.
Why didn't you return the car after 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Why
you are misled, ma'am. The correct.
Did you call for the car?
Many times, and he was saying that he was going to be getting another vehicle, that he had purchased it, he should have it in a few days.
Don't speak.
And we called back, do you have the vehicle? No, I don't. That deal fell through. I just don't have that. But I'm getting another car, and I'm buying a motor separately, and we're going to be putting it all together, and then you can have your car. We still didn't hear about it. Then we tried continually calling and calling and calling and calling, and he wouldn't answer the phone. And then we finally, one evening when we did get a hold of him, we said, we will be there tomorrow morning. And he had called us early that morning, oh, the windshield's been smashed. Okay, so what are you going to do about it?
No.
I'll tell you just a second.
We gave him adequate time from when the windshield was smashed, which was roughly the beginning of September.
When had you given him the car?
We had given him the car around the June 20th of 2000. So it's longer than the 2 months that he's saying. That's over 3 months. We picked up the car. We had to go pick up the vehicle on September 25th, on a Monday, after I had to pay for the vehicle to be repaired, as well as we were also threatened by the defendant, stating that if we show up on the property, that his girlfriend is a police officer and that they will have friends from Dearborn come and arrest us.
That is not correct, Your Honor.
What are those tapes?
This is the tape showing that he did say that they would have us arrested.
What's the other tape?
And this is the tape of some of the damage done to the vehicle.
That I'd like to see.
Your Honor, may I say something?
In time.
Yes, ma'am.
This is me trying to get into the lock. He broke the lock on the car. This is us trying to start the car and park, which he damaged the vehicle. No longer starts and park. Here you go. We tried it a couple of times. It doesn't even turn over. Nothing happens. When we took it to the Ford dealership, he had broken the neutral safety switch with the drive shaft. And then when we go to start it in neutral, that the vehicle stalls as soon as we start it, if you can get it started. You can also see we had a Ford radio in the vehicle that was given to us from a friend, and I have a statement from her regarding that they had given us a radio because the vehicle
Was the radio taken out when you got it back?
Yes. There was no
What
radio
else?
in it. He'd also broken the seat to the chair. As you notice, the other chair's reclined, and this chair here is when you sit down in it, and when you lean back at all, it goes all the way back to the back of the seat. This is where the radio was located at prior to when Aaron had stolen it, as well as he also stole other minor things that were in the trunk of the vehicle at the time.
Plus the windshield.
Yes, plus the windshield.
Do you have the
He's
estimates
also
for the
done
damage?
Yes, I've got
Can I
damage
see it,
to
please?
the engine that he's also done. The vehicle, he drove the vehicle with no oil in it and burned the engine out. He blew out 2 tires on the vehicle. They're worn to the steel belts.
Just a second. You didn't take pictures of the tires.
Because I can't get underneath the car. I'm 8.5 months pregnant. I won't fit, and neither would my husband. But I have estimates from the Ford dealership and
Just a
things
second.
showing that.
Did the car have 2 flat tires when you picked it up?
No, but you can see the steel, when you wear your tires down to the steel belts in your tires.
Let me see the estimates without the tires. Mr. Whitten.
Yes, ma'am.
You picked up this car sometime the latter part of June of
Yes, ma'am.
2000, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you picked up this car because you needed it for work?
Technically, I picked the car up from the defendant's sister's house, drove it to his parents' house, parked the car.
His sister was living at his parents' house, so she couldn't have
Just
lived
answer my
anywhere else.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
You wanted to borrow this car, I said, because you needed it for work. Is that right or wrong?
Correct.
Good. Just answer my question.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a state certified mechanic, ASC certified, and I was in the roofing union doing sheet metal.
And did you work? Were you employed in the month of June?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you employed in the month of July?
Half of July, I had injured my knee and I was not able to work.
Until the injury, you went to work?
Yes, ma'am.
So you drove this car for approximately 1 month?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. It's scary that you read my mind. Do you know that?
Known you a long time.
When they just fall all over themselves, it's just such a pleasure. Even the smart Alex, you know? It's just such a pleasure for me.
Your Honor?
Don't speak.
Okay.
You borrowed somebody's car, you drove it for at least a month, you drove it every day to work until you hurt your knee, and you returned it to them in a condition that is completely different from the way you got it. And then you say,
Your Honor,
it's not my fault.
May I please tell my side of the story now?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I was sitting with my witness as a police officer, my fiance, on their couch watching a movie. If you want to know the correct movie, it was American Pie. I
Give
know
a
you don't
rat's
care.
behind what you were watching.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me.
I have
Mr.
told
Whitten,
them,
Mr. Whitten,
Your
just
Honor.
listen to me. Don't try to shout over me. You can't do that.
And later today,
I heard a clink noise and looked down and the explosion went off. Boom. Huge explosion.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rachel and Brian Cale say former friend Aaron Whitten owes them for car repairs.
Go ahead.
Rachel, the plaintiff, had said, Aaron, you can use the car as long as you want.
That was real nice.
Yes, it was. The reason why I think it was being real nice is because I have gone over there extensive amount of times and helped them.
Don't go into what's in their mind.
I received the car with damages. When I first met the plaintiff, me and him went hunting.
I don't care about. Listen to me.
It falls in per the point of for your material. The neutral starting, Mr. Cale had to pull his shifter down to start it every time. That was a lie.
That's not true.
The stereo was stolen from their house. It was in a Kenwood or an Alpine, I cannot remember correctly, was stolen. Plus with some
Just a
other
second.
stuff.
Is what you're telling me, when you got the car, it did not have anything in that hole?
No, ma'am, nothing.
No, nothing was in the hole but the radio, the letters from the lady who had given us the radio to put in there, because the radio was stolen prior, the one that we had in there.
their garage
Just
on a
second.
chair.
So he is absolutely right. There was no radio in the car.
That's what no, it was in the trunk of the vehicle, and he stole it out of the vehicle when he had our vehicle.
Listen to me. You have no loss for the radio. You didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to you.
Yeah, but if we have to replace it, we have to pay over $400 for that radio.
I'm not sure.
Well, if you look at the estimate from it.
That's not what I'm not sure about. I'm not sure that you left the radio in the car and that he stole it. What's next, sir? So far you got off the hook for the radio.
Yes, ma'am. The charging light came on. When I picked up the vehicle, we had to jump start the vehicle. He also said that the battery light does stay on. The reason why the battery light stays on is because the voltage regulator unit was freezing inside the vehicle. Check engine light came on because it has a bad O2 sensor. It had an idle ignition sensor.
Why didn't you bring it back to them? Listen to me.
I have
Mr.
told them,
Mr.
Your
Whitten, just
Honor.
listen to me. Don't try to shout over me. You can't do that, sir.
No, Your Honor. I'm
You
not
can't
trying to
do-
shout over you.
Good.
But what I am
Then-
trying to tell, I am trying to tell you
Put him
my
out.
side of the story.
You're almost ready to go. If you have a car that you borrow from somebody and it has all the trouble, sir, that you say this car had,
They know the troubles, Your Honor. They
you're
knew about
interrupting
it.
me and you're ticking me off. Pay careful attention to me, sir. Normal, reasonable person. And if your girlfriend is a police officer, she's heard the expression of reasonably prudent person, right?
Yes.
If they borrow a car from somebody and the car looks as if it's having real trouble, they return the car. They say, look, I drove it for a couple of days. I see it's got lights on, and I don't want to be responsible if anything goes wrong with it. So I'm giving it back to you, and I'll find some other way to get to my roofing jobs. They don't drive the car for a month and then say, the car had a lot wrong with it, therefore anything that happened to the car isn't my fault. That's what a reasonable person does.
Okay.
And if you did not act responsibly, you have to be responsible for the consequences of what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You certainly...
May I finish my...
No.
I have some other evidence. I mean, they got to describe their evidence. I should think I should be
No,
able to.
there's no way that they're going to get $5,000 award from me.
They
for a
couldn't
night.
even
I'm
reserve
speaking.
$400
I
for what
am
the car is.
speaking.
Oh, so was I.
So are you?
I was rudely
I'm in charge.
interrupted twice.
I never rudely interrupt. I start to talk. It's my courtroom. You have to stop. That's the way the rules are in a courtroom.
Doesn't the called rights too?
Yeah, you have whatever rights I give them. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
As I excuse, you may step out.
They were lying. They knew the problems of the car. They tried getting some outrageous thing. This is a classic case of somebody trying to get something for nothing.
At least now everyone gets to see what Aaron looks like, and now they have to know never to lend him anything because they won't get it back in the shape that they lent it to him in.
And now the next case.
All parties on Buersdorf versus Gagnon. Step forward, please.
33-year-old wildlife technician Frederick Buersdorf is suing former friend, 37-year-old landscaper Dave Gagnon, for throwing a spray paint can into a bonfire. Frederick says the can exploded, causing third-degree burns.
You were at a bonfire attended by a lot of people. Is your claim that the defendant, these are my words, the defendant, while acting like a complete fool, threw a paint can into the bonfire, which caused you to be severely burned?
That's correct.
You want him to pay for your medical bills and a substantial amount for pain and suffering.
That's correct.
When did this incident occur?
October 7th, approximately 6:30 in the afternoon.
Where was the bonfire?
At my brother's house. He had just recently moved into a place.
What time had you arrived at your brother's house?
About 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.?
That's correct.
And what time was the unfortunate event which caused you to be burned?
Shortly after. I wasn't even there, about a half hour.
So it was about 6:30.
That's correct.
Now, Mr. Gagnon, what time did you arrive there?
Approximately the same time, Your Honor.
6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Had you been drinking before?
Yeah.
How much?
Probably about a six-pack of beer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I vaguely remember it, Judge. At the time, I was pretty intoxicated.
So you really don't know what you did?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Frederick Buersdorf says former friend Dave Gagnon owes for injuries he suffered when Dave threw a can of spray paint into a bonfire. Dave says he didn't do it.
Now, what prompted you to pick up this paint can?
I don't know. I seen it, and I put it in the fire earlier. And
How much earlier, sir?
About an hour or so earlier.
You said you arrived there at 6 o'clock. This incident happened at 6:30. So
Well, I'm not too sure about the time because I really didn't get the didn't look at a clock or nothing.
So you threw a paint can into the fire, and nobody was hurt, I assume, at that time?
No.
And it is your defense that you did not throw the paint can that caused his injury?
Correct.
Do you know who did?
No, I don't. There was a lot of people around the fire.
How many people?
Probably about 18 people.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mr. Buersdorf, tell me about the exact moment when this paint can exploded, and we're going to go through the events of what happened afterwards.
Okay. I recently got there, stood in front of the fire, was talking to some people, conversing. I heard a clink noise and looked down, and the explosion went off. Boom! Huge explosion. Burnt my forearms. my right face, all of my fingers, my wrists. First, second, and third degree burns. I have pictures here too.
I'd like to see the photographs. How long were you hospitalized?
I was in and out treatments, debridement, every day for 13 days.
How did you get to the hospital?
A friend of mine that was showing up had brought me to the hospital. I went right into the house and immediately started putting water on my face and arms for about 20 minutes or so. And when my friend showed up, he took me to the hospital. They didn't want to take me to the hospital. They said it wasn't bad.
Who's they?
The defendant and some other people that were there. It didn't look that bad at first.
Did you speak to the defendant after the explosion?
Yes, I did.
What was the conversation?
He was sorry.
What did he say to you?
I didn't think the paint can that I threw in was going to do that. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry.
He said that to you?
Yes.
You remember that, sir?
I vaguely remember it, Judge.
Well, why would you have said that, sir, if you hadn't thrown the paint can?
Because at the time, I was pretty intoxicated.
So you really don't know what you did? You knew enough to say sorry.
Yeah, I did. I knew enough to say sorry, but there was a lot of people there at the time, and there was bottles being thrown in. A kid threw a bottle in there, was poking at it with a stick. It blew off and took a chunk of his head. I mean, he was bleeding. So it could have been anybody at that present time that threw it in there.
Did you hear anybody else apologize to the plaintiff like you did?
No, because no one else, everyone, as soon as that happened, like Ricky had no friends after that. So I went by his house and I, apologized that
That's
if
what
I
happens
did.
when you drink too much. Mr. Bruesdorf, you indicate that you have a witness with regard to this incident?
Yes, I do. Nick Burke.
Would you step up, please? Tell me what you observed.
Standing there, I seen Dave move towards the fire, dropped something in, came towards me and asked me, "Do you hear that?" I said, "What is that?" He said, "A ball bearing." And I said, "What do you mean ball bearing?" "Ball bearing for a paint can. There's a paint can in the fire." And then I look up and then, bang, blew up before I could get the words out to warn anyone to get away. There was a bunch of people standing real close. He was the only one that got burned bad, but it could have been 3 or 4 different people that were standing next to him.
Thank you. Can I see your medical bills, please? Who is this gentleman with you?
That's Scott Stebbins. He's a good friend of mine. He's my witness.
What does he want to tell me?
Your Honor, I was standing right next to Dave, and I did not see him throw the paint can. I was standing right next to him. And if he would have thrown the paint can in, he probably would have warned somebody.
Your
Well,
Honor.
that's just... Wait one second. The facts. Your conjecture of what he would have done or what he might have done is totally useless in a court. You understand?
Yes.
Did you see any of the other 15 or 18 people who were at the bonfire throw paint cans into the fire?
Not paint cans, Your Honor.
Paint cans is what I'm talking
No.
about. Paint cans.
No, they were throwing bottles.
So the only idiot that you saw throw a paint can at some time was the defendant.
Earlier that day.
Well, it had to be within an hour because he was only there, according to him, for a half hour before this incident happened.
But when he did throw that one in, Your Honor, that
Yes.
one exploded. And we knew that it already exploded. And then
I
later
understand
on,
that.
somebody else threw another one in.
Well, you don't know that, sir, at all. The only person of the 15 or 18 people at the bonfire who you saw throw a paint can at some point was the defendant. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sit down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Bruesdorf, I want you to describe for the defendant what it feels like when they do the debridement of burns. Tell him. You have open skin.
Open skin, it's bleeding. Every time they scrape it, it bleeds. It's excruciating. They tell you to take more pain medicine, but it doesn't work.
What kind
no
of
matter
pain
what.
medicine did you take?
Percocets. I still felt every inch of it.
You understand, sir?
Yes, I do.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000 as requested. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 40 on the calendar in the matter of Dickinson versus Irwin. Parties have been, you're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Dickinson, Miss Irwin is your boyfriend's mother.
Yes.
I assume this is the boyfriend.
Yes, he is.
How long have you been his girlfriend?
We're actually broken up right now. We were dating for about a month.
Not dating anymore.
No.
Any particular reason?
We were good friends, and I didn't want to ruin our friendship.
It is your complaint that Mrs. Irwin, for no good reason, broke your cell phone,
Yes, she did.
and you want her to pay for it.
Yes.
And Miss Irwin says you were an uninvited guest in her home, and that precipitated this incident with the cell phone. So why don't you tell me when this happened?
This happened in February, the 21st. Ryan and I were dating at the time. We had gotten back to his house and we were watching TV, relaxing.
Where were you watching TV?
Up in his living room. And Bernice came home.
Bernice, that's you.
Yes. And she came home yelling and freaking out on Ryan. She began to yell at him even more and put him down.
What was she saying?
You're a loser, you're good for nothing. And then she began to hit him, smack him in the face.
What did he say to her?
Nothing. Nothing was really said. She was just like, you're a loser. And Ryan was just simply not saying anything because I was present. And when she came into the living room, she was yelling at me. And then she had hit Ryan across the face. And then she did it a few more times. And I told her that if she had kept hitting him, that I was going to call the cops because I did not feel comfortable whatsoever. She looked at me and said, I'll do whatever I want. This is my house. Hit him again. And that's when I had called for the police assistance.
Okay, so you used your cell phone to call the police?
Yes, I did.
Okay, what happened next?
When I was on the phone with the police, she was still yelling at Ryan, and they got it on tape and everything like that. And I had said I need police assistance to this address. And then she had noticed I was on the phone with the cops, and then she had attacked me. And I have pictures here of the bruises from when she grabbed my arm and my wrist.
Is that when your phone was broken?
Yes.
Well, tell me how it got broken, Miss Dickinson.
I was on the phone, and she had grabbed my arm, and then she was fighting with me. I was telling her to let go of me, not to touch me. And then she grabbed the top half of my cell phone and snapped it off and opened her front door and threw it outside in the snow.
Okay. Now I'll see the police report, please.
Okay. I also have pictures of the bruises. Would you like to see them?
Yes.
And there's also pictures of my cell phone. No.
Is this the only police report that you have?
Yes, there was no police report written. It was just a log entry.
Okay. Step up, please. Your first name is Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you, Ryan?
18.
You're not living in your mother's home anymore, is that right?
Yes.
Who are you living with now?
I'm staying with friends now.
How long has it been since you haven't been getting along with your mother?
As long as I can remember.
When did you ultimately move out of the house?
She kicked me out a couple weeks ago after she got arrested for domestic assault on me.
Why don't you get along with your mother?
Because she's crazy.
I also have the police log from her arrest, if you'd like to see that.
I would. Are you going to school, Ryan?
No, not right now.
You working?
No, not currently.
How are you supporting yourself?
I really haven't been.
Okay. All right, Miss Irwin. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a store manager.
Were you working on the 21st of February?
I was.
What were your hours of employment?
On that particular day, I worked till about 6 p.m.
Did you go directly from the store home?
I did not.
Where did you go?
I went to a friend's house, and then I came home.
What time did you get home?
Approximately 7 to 7:30 p.m.
And you came home and you found your son and his girlfriend watching television?
They were in my living room. My house was a total disaster. Ryan was not allowed to have any guests at my home without my permission, which he continued to do so, and I was quite angry.
Had you ever met this young lady before?
Once or twice, yes.
Where?
One time at my house, and another time she was leaving my house for a few minutes. That was it.
You never had any problem with her?
No, I didn't.
So what happened when you came home on the 21st?
I'd asked Ryan why he had a guest in my home. We'd had many problems in the past with him having company, and I told him he was not allowed to have anybody in my home without my permission. Ryan got very angry at me and started swearing, cursing, calling me several names. He then spit in my face, literally, and I slapped him across the face once. At that point, Jamie had gotten off my sofa and started calling me names that I will not even repeat, and I asked them to leave my house. They refused.
Shh. Yes?
She did say, threatened she was going to call the police. I, at that time, told her if indeed she called the police, my son probably would have been arrested because he was on probation.
For what?
Numerous things, assault and battery, disturbing the peace. He was on probation for assault and battery on a police officer.
That's serious stuff?
It had
Ryan?
been serious stuff.
That's serious stuff?
Yes.
Okay, so she called the police.
Yeah, I didn't know she was on the phone. I had just got done telling her if indeed she called the police.
There was a lot of screaming going around, so
Yes, there was.
Everybody was screaming. I want to know how her phone got broken.
She got on the phone with somebody, I'm not sure who, saying that I was abusing my son, which was not true.
That was with the police.
My son had just spit in my face, and I did slap him across the face after he had called me several vulgar names. One time I did slap him across the face. Yes, I did.
I want to know how her phone got broken.
Well, she was on the phone, and I, at that point, once again told her, if you want to make a phone call, go outside. I need you to get out of my house. And she refused to leave, so I took the phone out of her hands. And as far as I know, it was the top part of her cell phone that did snap off. And at that point, I threw it outside to make them leave my house. I'd asked them several times to leave.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
Nope, never.
He has been.
I understand that.
Set your sights a little higher. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I have a
Don't
new
say
boyfriend.
anything, Ryan.
And later today,
Lester's a stubborn dog, there's no doubt about it.
I have a very stubborn dog, but she has been very, very well trained.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jamie Dickinson says her ex-boyfriend's mother owes for breaking her cell phone. Bernice Irwin claims Jamie was trespassing on her property.
Okay. There are a couple of things that I don't quite understand, Miss Irwin, and I think that probably you would have been more prudent if when you came home and found Ryan there watching television with his girlfriend, you waited until she left and then confronted him. As far as I've heard, they weren't doing anything untoward. They were sitting and watching television in your living room. So when you came home and started to go off on him in front of his girlfriend, especially a kid that you'd had trouble with and that clearly has a temper, that probably wasn't the most prudent thing to do. And then there was a lot of yelling and screaming. However, Miss Dickinson was an invited guest to your home. She was invited by your son, who lives there, or did then. And whatever argument you were having with your son, and I'm not going to get into slapping him in the face or screaming or yelling or bad names, I'm not getting into that. The only thing that's before me is whether you're responsible to buy her a new cell phone. I believe her when she says that she told you she was going to call the police, and I believe you knew she was calling the police because that's what she said she was going to do. And at that time, if you grabbed her by the arm and grabbed her cell phone and snapped it off and then threw it outside, you're responsible to buy her a new cell phone. It seems to me that there was an altercation in your home and it was getting out of hand. It was a good thing that she was calling the police. So why would you be angry? So, how much was the cell phone?
It is $199.99. I have the paper from the website singular.com.
Okay, can I see it, please? And the cell phone. Who is this person?
Carol, a friend of mine.
Was she there that evening?
She wasn't there that evening.
Okay. This is one of these cute little phones that takes pictures?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't take pictures. Okay. That's all you're suing for, the cost of the cell phone. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, that about covers everything.
What do you do for a living, Miss Dickinson?
I babysit, and I used to work at CVS. I had just quit my job, though, because I'm still in high school, and I'm graduating this year, so it was kind of hard doing both.
Have you ever been in trouble with the law?
Nope, never.
He has been.
I understand that.
Lots of times. Set your sights a little higher. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I have a new
Don't say
boyfriend.
anything, Ryan. You've got a little ways to go to get your act together, young man. Somebody who's 18 years old, who's not going to school, who's not working, who's not supporting themselves, who's got an arrest history, according to your mother, that's lengthy, is not going down the right path. The yellow brick road is eluding you, Ryan. You're going to have to find it. Otherwise, you're going to be dead by the time you're 30. That would be a shame, right? Be smart. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $199. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm a little confused about the whole thing, actually. I don't really believe that I broke Jamie's cell phone.
I was not brought up that way. I was brought in a very well-nurtured home where no violence is present.
I did ask her to leave my home along with my son.
Mom overreacts a whole lot.
I'm really hoping that we can be friends yet again, mother and daughter. Mother and son, I'm sorry.
That'd be wonderful if it could, but I don't know if that could ever happen.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Horn Torres versus Cunningham. Step forward, please.
25-year-old homemaker Deanna Horn Torres is suing dog trainer Brian Cunningham for injuring her dog Buster during a session. Brian says he did nothing out of the ordinary.
Miss Torres?
Yes.
And this is Buster?
Yes.
And Buster was behaving badly. How old is Buster?
He's 4 months.
Where did you get him?
We got him from a breeder.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a boxer.
Did the breeder tell you that boxers are hard to train?
No, she didn't.
Is he hard to train?
He's doing better, but he is a little difficult. Yes, he is.
He doesn't look interested in what's going on here, I'll tell you that right now. Well, according to what your complaint states, because you were having some difficulty in training Buster on your own, you asked your vet for a recommendation.
Yes.
Had you used this vet before?
Yes.
You think that the vet that you used is a good one?
Yes.
And your vet recommended Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
And said he was a good dog trainer?
Yes.
And you made an agreement with him. I think his whole fee was $525, and you paid him, and it is your claim that he hurt your dog during the training sessions and you want a full refund.
Yes.
The $525 that you paid Mr. Cunningham was for how many sessions?
He didn't give me an amount. He said he would come to my house until I was completely satisfied. He didn't tell me how long it would take.
I offer everybody, it's a 6-week course or until the dog is completely trained.
What kind of train? You mean potty trained, crate trained?
Housebreaking, chewing, digging, obedience is how we do it.
What if you get a really dumb dog?
There aren't really very many dumb dogs. It's just folks, you've got to follow up with the instruction I give you.
What about stubborn dogs?
Very stubborn sometimes. Buster's a stubborn dog, there's no doubt about it.
I have a very stubborn dog. But she has been very, very well trained.
That's good.
All right, Miss Torres, tell me what happened.
He had came 3 times to my house. The first day, everything went fine. The second time he came, there was a pink mark around the dog's neck, and he told me it was because the dog was a white dog and it would go away. And it did. Within 2 hours, it was gone. And so the next time he came, the dog ran under the bed to hide. Well, whenever he came out...
That's all right. You can leave him alone. He's fine.
As soon as he put the collar around the dog's neck, the dog snapped at him. And so when he was being rough with him, we asked him, why are you being so rough? And he said that he had to do it to keep him from snapping at people. So we said, okay, well,
You mean the dog bit the inside of his mouth?
Yes. And so at that time, we ended the session. He took the collar off the dog, and the dog ran underneath the bed. And when I went to the dog, I had noticed the injuries that I do have pictures of. And my husband talked to Brian later on the phone and told Brian that we didn't want his services anymore. We couldn't have him abuse our dog.
Okay, so let me see the photographs that you took. Okay, Mr. Cunningham, I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I've been training dogs for 17 years. I have 2 witnesses to tell you what kind of trainer I am.
Tell me your name.
Barbara Buquay.
Step up, please. Are you just a satisfied customer?
Oh, I'm absolutely satisfied.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Maltese, Sophie.
Little one?
She's very small, yes. She's about 5 pounds.
Does she bark?
Well, actually, she does not bark. No, not usually.
Good.
Yes, I know. I'm so happy with her, and I'm so happy with Brian.
Okay. You, sir?
My name is Victor McDougall, and Brian has trained 2 dogs for me. The first one was Tara, and she had a little problem with liking to chew on furniture and stuff. And, Brian helped me train her and get her out of that. And most people would tell me that, boy, I wish my kids listened as well as my dog. So, yeah, so that's always good to hear.
Okay. Have a seat. So this is my problem, Mr. Cunningham. I believe that you are a good dog trainer.
Thank you.
And I believe that because their vet, that they have tremendous confidence in, recommended you.
Yes.
And you bring 2 witnesses who I have no reason to doubt that say that you've been wonderful with their animals. This didn't work out. Whether you pulled a little too hard, whether the dog bruises easily, I don't know what happened. But these people did not cause this injury to the dog. I can understand they're being upset. Does it sound like you're losing yet, sir?
No, it doesn't.
Good. Perfect. Would you give these to Mr. Cunningham, please? We have to know when to... Take them back now, please. Now, you have a whole bunch of satisfied customers. And I don't think that, based upon what these people tell me, that this is standard fare for you, because otherwise their vet would not have recommended you. And you have satisfied customers. So if these people are not satisfied, you should have given them back their money and said, in 17 years, I never had this kind of problem. I don't want this kind of problem now. My time is too valuable.
Your Honor,
Yes,
if I
Mr.
may,
Cunningham.
I believe that I should be paid for my time. If
Well-
I show up 4 times and they refuse to accept any of my, I understand that. The dog, you know what, here's the thing. Had they been working the dog every week, only 10 minutes a day, that would not have been the
Mr.
case
Cunningham,
ever.
you know how kind I was just being to you before, a moment ago? I was being kind to you because like 10 million people are going to watch this. A lot of them have dogs. So I was trying to be kind and say, you're a wonderful dog trainer.
Well, I am.
This was an aberration. You should have just said, going to return your money, and that's it. But since you don't seem to get it, what I'm going to tell you is this, sir. If you went to their house first time and then came back for the next session and you found that they weren't following your direction,
Yes.
at that point you could have said, just a minute, I can't work this way. I'm not going to treat this dog in any way that's in any way in any way that's rough, that's going to leave this kind of bruising. Here's your money back. Not the 4th time you came to the house, but the 2nd time you came to the house and said, I can't work with you people. I could work with that dog, but I can't work with you. So here's your money back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $525. Clearly, this dog is not intimidated by anything, not even my voice.
No, ma'am. Parties are excused. You may step out. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Taylor, you and Mr. McCrary were high school sweethearts, according to what I read here. You have a 2-year-old child together, saved money together. I assume when you were in high school, decided to rent an apartment together, which was when?
That was August of '98.
And you signed a year lease?
Yes, we did.
Is that correct so far?
Yes.
There was an argument sometime in May of '99.
Mm-hmm.
You claim when he moved out, he also withdrew your savings of $1,200, and you believe that he should be responsible for half of the remaining months on the lease. He moved out when?
In May. We was together in an apartment for 9 months.
So, according to you, he owes 1/2 of 3 months' rent.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the rent?
$355.
Total?
Uh-huh.
Did you at any time move someone else into the apartment?
No, no, ma'am.
A new boyfriend or anything else?
No.
Did anybody come and stay with you?
Somebody came and stayed with me, but his name wasn't on the lease.
I don't care whether his name was on the lease or not.
Well, he came at the end of the very last month.
So 1 month?
Yeah.
Under the lease?
Under the lease.
He stayed there?
Yes.
Why didn't he pay rent?
Well, it wasn't really initially a plan for him to stay there.
But he did?
Yeah, I mean.
So why should he pay for that? Why should he pay for a time when this other guy was living in the apartment?
Well, I mean, he paid for other things. He did help me out.
Person lives in an apartment, they got to pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
And if he had paid half the rent, then you wouldn't be asking for him for the other half, right?
Well, it was only for the final month, and we wasn't planning on moving in together. It's just
Who
something
knows?
that
Who
happened.
cares? So it's for 2 months at most. Now, you moved out, sir, because you had an argument with her.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about that argument.
I don't remember the exact argument, but we were arguing ever since we moved in together. And I just got fed up and I moved out. And 2 days later, she threw my clothes out on my parents' driveway. Told me I wasn't making up my mind quick enough, and she told me it was over. And then after things calmed down, she called me up and asked me, could we get back together? And I said no.
How much after she put your clothes out on your mother's driveway did she call and try to reconcile? It was Mom's house?
He had already moved out. He just left stuff there. He still had things at the apartment. If he's moving out and everything, I was giving him his stuff. I didn't leave it in his yard or anything. He's over-exaggerating. What had happened, he was depressed. We was both full-time students in college or whatever. And he was working at a job at Procter & Gamble, but it was like a seasonal thing where you work 6 months and then you're off and you either you collect unemployment checks or you can find another job. He decided to collect unemployment checks. And so he would use all his money to pay the rent, and I would pay for all the rest of the utilities like telephone and food and electric and everything else. And so his money, unemployment checks, that's not a lot anyway. So his whole entire check would go on the rent, and he would have no money for himself, really. And so he was just depressed about that. And then he had all the time on his hands, so he had to watch our daughter more. And it's a combination of a lot of things, but he was just acting. His attitude was changing. Everything was changing about him, and he was feeling depressed. So I was asking, like, well, am I doing anything wrong? What am I doing wrong? And he wouldn't have no reply to that or whatever. And he just, when we would have talks and stuff, and he would try to leave and say, well, I can't take it anymore. That this is just not the same or whatever. And I would tell him, well, you know, stay for us, stay for the family and everything else. And I had convinced him a couple of times before he tried to leave to stay. But this final time, we wasn't arguing, we was talking. There would be a long talk, emotional talk, we both crying and everything. And he like, well, you know, I just need to get away. So it was fine. And I was upset about it for a couple of days, sad and heartbroken over it. But, you know, I always felt like he was going to come back. And then I would go over there to drop off our daughter because his mother would watch her. And I come over there, and he got on brand new clothes, new shoes, new golds in his mouth, tattoos and everything new. And then it came clear to me that he was just leaving his responsibility. He wanted to spend money on him. He didn't want to take care of the bills and everything like he used to.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
That's what happens when you're 20 years old and you make a baby. When you're 18 years old, then you get responsibilities. It all sounds nice in the planning stage, but when you have to live the life of being responsible and not being able to buy yourself things and live a little bit when you're 19, that's what happened. Okay. But there was that 2-month period. She didn't have another roommate, like the boyfriend, who should have paid his half, which would mean that if you decided you had enough of this relationship, you owe her 1 month's rent. She lived there for 2 months by herself. Half of it should be yours.